The Lotus Whisper, finding serenity beyond anxiety. Welcome to Lotus Whisper. Tonight, we embark on a gentle journey, a quiet exploration into the heart of serenity, guided by the ancient wisdom of Buddhist teachings. We will gently unravel the threads of anxiety that often bind our minds, discovering how profound inner peace is not a distant shore, but a tranquil harbor within us, always accessible. As the day's concerns begin to fade, let us prepare our minds and bodies to release the burdens of thought, allowing the calm reflections of these tales to guide us towards a deep, restorative sleep. Each story, each insight, is a soft invitation to let go, to breathe, and to simply be. Please subscribe to the channel to hear more stories like this. Part 1. The Restless Mind and the Illusion of Control. The day often leaves its echoes within us, a symphony of thoughts, plans, and worries that continue to hum long after the sun has set. Perhaps you feel it now, a subtle tension in your shoulders, a slight furrow in your brow, or a quiet hum of restlessness behind your eyes. This is the mind, in its earnest desire to protect and to plan, often creating its own intricate web of unease. It spins scenarios, revisits conversations, and tries to predict the unfolding of tomorrow, grasping at the illusion that if only we could control every thread, every outcome, then peace would surely follow. But this very grasping, this relentless effort to steer the unsteerable, is often the source of our deepest anxieties. We hold so tightly to what we believe should be, to how things must unfold, that we become entangled in the current moment, unable to simply be here, now. The world outside may be quiet, but within, the mind can feel like a bustling marketplace, filled with the clamor of 1,000 concerns, each one demanding attention, each one whispering of potential pitfalls or unfulfilled desires. We strive to control our thoughts, to banish the unwelcome ones, to force a sense of calm, only to find that the harder we try, the more elusive peace becomes. It is like trying to smooth the surface of a constantly flowing river with our bare hands. The effort is exhaustive, and the ripples persist. Tonight, let us gently acknowledge this tendency. There is no need to fight it, no need to judge it. Simply observe the mind's dance, its tireless efforts to manage the unmanageable. Feel the subtle tension that accompanies this effort, the way it settles in the body, a quiet weight upon the chest, a tightness in the jaw. This is not a failure, but a deeply human pattern, born of a desire for safety and certainty in a world that is inherently uncertain. And in this gentle observation, we begin the first step towards release, towards understanding that true peace lies not in controlling the world, but in letting go of the need to control it. We invite you now to simply rest, to listen, and to allow the wisdom of an ancient tale to unfold, offering a different path, a softer way to navigate the currents of life and thought. Long ago, in a land steeped in mist and ancient cedars, lived a young merchant named Kaito. His days were a ceaseless pursuit of order and foresight. He meticulously planned every journey, every transaction, every interaction. His ledgers were impeccable, his routes charted with precision, his goods inspected with an almost obsessive care. Yet, despite his outward success, Kaito carried a heavy burden within. His mind was a constant storm of what-ifs. What if the rains came and flooded the mountain pass? What if his goods were stolen? What if his customers were dissatisfied? What if his competitors outsmarted him? Even as he slept, his dreams were often filled with the frantic recalculation of risks and the desperate attempts to avert imagined disasters. One autumn, Kaito embarked on a journey through a vast and ancient forest, a path known for its beauty, but also its unpredictable challenges. He had heard tales of sudden mists, of winding trails that seemed to vanish, of the deceptive quiet that could lull a traveler into a false sense of security. Before setting out, he had spent weeks preparing, studying maps, consulting seasoned travelers, packing provisions for every conceivable emergency. His mind, however, remained unconvinced, a relentless inner voice cataloguing every potential mishap. He walked with a stiff gait, his eyes constantly scanning the path ahead, not for beauty, but for threats. Every rustle of leaves, every shadow, every distant bird call was interpreted through the lens of potential danger. He tried to control his pace, his breathing, even the direction of the wind in his mind, as if his sheer force of will could bend reality to his desires. The beauty of the towering trees, the dappled sunlight, the earthy scent of the forest floor, all were lost to him, obscured by the dense fog of his own anxieties. One afternoon, deep within the forest, Kaito stumbled upon a small, secluded clearing. In its center, beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient oak, sat an old monk, his robes the color of dried earth, his posture serene and unmoving. A small fire crackled softly beside him, and the air was filled with the faint scent of incense. Kaito, exhausted and agitated, approached the monk with a flurry of questions. "Venerable one," Kaito began, his voice strained, "I am on an important journey, and this forest is full of uncertainties. How can I ensure my safe passage? How can I control the elements, the wild creatures, the shifting paths? My mind is tormented by the need to foresee and prevent every possible misfortune." The old monk slowly opened his eyes, which held the depth and calm of a still pond. He looked at Kaito, not with judgment, but with a gentle, knowing gaze. He gestured towards the fire. "Tell me, young merchant," the monk said, his voice a soft rustle like the leaves, "do you control the dance of these flames? Do you command the smoke to rise in a particular pattern? Do you dictate the exact moment each ember will glow or fade?" Kaito looked at the fire, then back at the monk. "No, venerable one. The fire simply burns, the smoke simply rises." "And the river that flows nearby," the monk continued, pointing with a gnarled finger towards a faint sound of water. "Do you instruct its currents? Do you tell it where to carve its banks, or how swiftly to carry its waters?" "Again, no," Kaito admitted, a flicker of irritation mixing with his weariness. "The river flows as it flows. It follows its own course." The monk smiled, a deep, peaceful smile that seemed to soften the very air around them. "Then tell me, Kaito, if you cannot control the simple flame or the flowing river, how do you expect to control the vast, intricate tapestry of the forest, the whims of the weather, or the countless variables of your journey? Your mind, in its earnest desire for security, has become a cage of its own making, constantly trying to grasp at clouds and hold on to mist." Kaito stood in silence, the monk's words echoing in the quiet clearing. He felt a sudden, profound stillness descend upon him, not a forced quiet, but a natural cessation of his internal struggle. The monk had not offered a solution to his problems, but had simply pointed to the futility of his approach. The truth of it, so simple and undeniable, began to seep into his bones. The vastness of the forest, the unpredictability of life, suddenly seemed less threatening and more simply existent. He realized that his constant striving for control had blinded him to the present moment, to the very act of walking, breathing, and being. The monk closed his eyes again, returning to his silent contemplation. Kaito, without another word, bowed deeply and continued on his path. But something had shifted. The restless urgency that had driven him before was replaced by a quiet observation. He still walked with purpose, but now his gaze was different. He noticed the intricate patterns of moss on the tree trunks, the delicate dance of sunlight through the canopy, the cool, damp scent of the earth after a morning shower. He still encountered challenges, a fallen log blocking the path, a sudden downpour. But instead of his mind spiraling into panic, he found himself simply observing the obstacle, then finding a way around it, or waiting out the rain beneath a sheltering tree. The grip of control had loosened. It was not that his worries vanished entirely, but they no longer held him captive. When a thought of "what if" arose, he would remember the monk's words. The fire simply burns, the river flows as it flows. And he would gently release the thought, allowing it to pass like a cloud across the sky. He began to trust the path itself, not in a reckless way, but with a quiet confidence that each step would reveal the next. His shoulders, which had been hunched with tension, began to relax. Breath, once shallow and hurried, deepened and slowed, aligning with the rhythm of his steps. He was still Kaito, the merchant, but he was also something more, a traveler who had begun to understand the profound wisdom of surrender. And so, as you listen now, allow Kaito's journey to resonate within your own experience. Notice where your own mind might be grasping, where it is trying to control the uncontrollable. Perhaps it is a worry about tomorrow, a lingering regret from today, or a persistent thought that simply won't let go. There is no need to fight these thoughts, no need to push them away. Simply observe them, as Kaito observed the fire and the river. See them for what they are, transient phenomena, arising and passing away, much like the clouds in the sky or the ripples on a pond. Feel the gentle invitation to loosen your own grip. Imagine your thoughts as leaves carried on a gentle stream, flowing past, not needing to be held onto or steered. With each breath, feel a subtle release in your body. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax. Allow the tension that might have settled in your chest or your stomach to gently dissipate, like mist dissolving in the morning sun. This is not an act of resignation, but an act of profound wisdom, a recognition that true peace arises not from controlling every detail of life, but from trusting its inherent flow. As you lie here, allow the weight of your body to sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Feel the gentle support of your bed, holding you completely, without effort or expectation. The day's demands are fading, receding into the distance like a traveler's footsteps, disappearing down a long, quiet path. There is nothing left to control, nothing left to manage. The world outside can continue its dance, and your mind, too, can be allowed to simply be. Imagine yourself now in Kaito's clearing, beneath the ancient oak, the soft glow of the fire casting long, peaceful shadows. The air is cool and still, carrying only the faint scent of wood smoke and damp earth. All the anxieties of the journey, all the burdens of control, are gently melting away, like snow beneath the spring sun. Your breath becomes a soft, rhythmic lullaby, rising and falling, effortlessly, naturally. Each exhale is an opportunity to let go a little more, to release any lingering tension, any remaining worry. Allow your eyelids to feel heavy, your gaze to soften, your focus to turn inward. The path ahead is not yours to control, nor is the path behind. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound stillness. Let yourself drift on this quiet current, carried by the gentle understanding that you are safe, you are supported, and you are free to simply rest. The illusion of control is dissolving, leaving behind a spaciousness, a quiet peace that invites you deeper into relaxation. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still, ready to sink into the restorative depths of peaceful sleep. The subtle shift in Kaito's perspective was not a sudden, dramatic transformation, but a gradual unfolding, like a lotus slowly opening its petals to the morning sun. The forest, which had once felt like a labyrinth of potential threats, now revealed itself as a living, breathing entity, full of intricate beauty and quiet wisdom. He no longer saw only the path ahead, but also the delicate spiderwebs glistening with dew, the intricate patterns of bark on ancient trees, the way sunlight filtered through the leaves, painting shifting mosaics on the forest floor. His senses, once dulled by the clamor of his own worries, began to awaken. He heard the distant call of a cuckoo, the gentle rustle of a deer moving through the undergrowth, the soft murmur of the wind whispering secrets through the branches. Days turned into nights, and Kaito continued his journey. There were still moments when the old anxieties would try to resurface, when the mind would attempt to grasp at control. A sudden, unexpected storm might brew, darkening the sky and unleashing a torrent of rain. In the past, such an event would have sent Kaito into a frenzy of frantic calculations. Where is shelter? Will my goods be ruined? How long will this last? But now, as the first heavy drops began to fall, he found himself remembering the monk's words, "The river flows as it flows." He would simply find the nearest sturdy tree, pull his cloak tighter, and wait. He would observe the rain, not as an enemy to be conquered, but as a natural phenomenon, a part of the forest's rhythm. He noticed how the leaves glistened, how the earth drank deeply, how the air became clean and fresh. And in this simple act of observation, without resistance, a profound sense of calm would settle over him. The storm was outside, but within, a quiet sanctuary remained untouched. Another time, Kaito came across a section of the path that had been completely obscured by a recent landslide. His initial instinct, the old habit, was a surge of frustration and panic. "This will delay me. My schedule is ruined. What will I do?" But then, like a gentle hand on his shoulder, the monk's wisdom returned. He paused, took a deep breath, and looked at the situation not as a catastrophe, but as it simply was. A blocked path. He began to explore, not with desperation, but with a quiet curiosity. He found a faint game trail winding around the obstruction, a path he would have dismissed as too risky before, but now approached with a newfound sense of adaptability. He moved slowly, carefully, trusting his steps, and eventually rejoined the main path, perhaps a little later than planned, but without the internal turmoil that would have once consumed him. He realized that his anxiety had not been caused by the external events themselves, but by his resistance to them, by his mind's insistent demand that reality conform to his expectations. When he let go of that demand, when he allowed life to unfold as it would, a vast spaciousness opened within him. He understood that the illusion of control was a heavy burden, a self-imposed prison. True freedom, he discovered, lay in releasing the need to control, in trusting the inherent wisdom of life's flow. This didn't mean he became careless or irresponsible. He still planned, he still prepared, but he did so with an open hand, not a clenched fist. He understood that he could influence, but he could not dictate. He could participate, but he could not command the entire symphony of existence. This profound realization began to dissolve the chronic tension that had been a constant companion in his body. The tightness in his jaw, which he hadn't even noticed until it began to soften, eased. His shoulders, once perpetually braced, dropped. His stomach, which had often felt knotted with worry, relaxed into a gentle, quiet rhythm. His sleep, which had been restless and fragmented, became deeper, more peaceful. He would lie down at night, no longer replaying the day's events or rehearsing tomorrow's challenges, but simply resting, allowing the quiet hum of the forest to lull him into a serene slumber. He had found a different kind of security, not in controlling the external world, but in cultivating an unshakable inner peace. As Kaito's journey neared its end, he carried with him not just his merchant goods, but a treasure far more valuable: the wisdom of letting go. He understood that the restless mind, in its earnest attempt to protect us, often creates its own suffering by clinging to the illusion of control. But when we gently observe this tendency, when we acknowledge the futility of grasping at the ungraspable, we begin to loosen our grip. We discover that true peace is not the absence of external challenges, but the presence of an inner stillness that remains undisturbed by the world's ever-changing dance. Now, as you lie here, allow yourself to fully embrace this wisdom. Let Kaito's journey be a reflection of your own capacity for release. Feel any lingering tension in your body, any subtle clenching in your muscles, and simply acknowledge it. There is no need to push it away, no need to judge it. Just notice it, and then, with a soft exhale, imagine that tension gently dissolving, melting away like a snowflake on warm skin. Feel your breath flowing in and out, effortlessly, naturally. Each inhale brings a wave of calm, a fresh sense of presence. Each exhale is an opportunity to let go a little more, to release any remaining thoughts of control, any lingering worries about what was or what might be. Imagine your mind as a vast, open sky, and your thoughts as clouds drifting gently across it. They appear, they move, and then they disappear, without needing your intervention, without needing your judgment. You are the spacious sky, vast and unchanging, observing the transient dance of the clouds. Allow your body to sink, even, deeper into the softness beneath you. Feel the gentle weight of your limbs, heavy and relaxed. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward, towards a quiet, peaceful center. The day's concerns, the need to plan, to manage, to control, are now distant echoes, fading into the quiet stillness of the night. There is nothing left for you to do, nowhere for you to be, except right here, right now, completely supported, completely at ease. Imagine yourself now in that tranquil forest clearing, beneath the ancient oak, the soft glow of embers casting a gentle warmth. The air is cool, clean, and still, carrying only the faint, soothing scent of damp earth and ancient trees. All the burdens of the day, all the anxieties of the restless mind, are gently melting away, like mist dissolving in the morning sun. Your breath becomes a soft, rhythmic lullaby, rising and falling, effortlessly, naturally. Each exhale is an invitation to deeper relaxation, a surrender to the profound peace that resides within you. Let your mind quiet, your thoughts soften, and your body become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet river, carried by the gentle current of letting go. The shores of anxiety are receding, and you are moving towards a vast, tranquil ocean of peace. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night. Part 2. The gentle breeze of impermanence. Tonight, as the world outside settles into its quiet rhythm, perhaps you feel a different kind of stir within. It is the mind's natural inclination to seek stability, to crave certainty, to wish that moments of joy could last forever, and moments of discomfort would simply vanish. This deep-seated desire for things to remain fixed, to hold on to what is pleasant and push away what is not, often becomes a subtle source of anxiety. We cling to ideas, to relationships, to possessions, to our very sense of self, fearing the inevitable currents of change that sweep through all existence. This clinging creates a tension, a resistance to the natural flow of life, like trying to hold water in an open hand. The harder we grasp, the more it slips away, leaving us with a sense of unease, a quiet dread of loss, or a frustration with the way things simply refuse to stay the same. This internal struggle against change manifests in countless ways. We worry about the future because it is unknown and unpredictable. We regret the past because it is gone and unchangeable. We resist the present moment if it doesn't align with our expectations. This resistance is a heavy burden, a constant effort to fight against the very nature of reality. It keeps the mind restless, always striving, always fearing, always trying to build a fortress of permanence in a world of constant flux. You might feel this resistance now, a subtle tightening, a sense of being on edge, a quiet hum of dissatisfaction with the way things are, or a longing for them to be different. This is the mind's way of trying to control the uncontrollable, to make the ephemeral eternal. But what if we could learn to dance with change rather than fight against it? What if we could find a profound sense of peace, not in permanence, but in the gentle, ever-flowing current of impermanence itself? Tonight, we will explore this liberating wisdom, allowing it to gently loosen the grip of anxiety and guide us towards a deep, unwavering calm. Let us invite the understanding that all things arise and pass away, not as a source of sorrow, but as a gateway to freedom. Allow your body to settle, your breath to deepen, and your mind to open to a serene narrative that illustrates how recognizing the transient nature of life can bring a profound sense of acceptance, softening the edges of worry and inviting a subtle shift towards inner stillness. In a remote mountain village, nestled beside a winding river and surrounded by ancient forests, lived a young potter named Ren. Ren was known for the exquisite beauty of his ceramic bowls and vases, each piece a testament to his meticulous skill and deep patience. Yet, despite his artistic success, Ren carried a quiet anxiety within him. He poured his heart and soul into each creation, shaping the clay with such devotion that he became deeply attached to the finished pieces. He worried constantly about their fragility, a sudden tremor, a careless hand, the inevitable wear of time. Any of these could shatter his beautiful work into countless fragments. His greatest fear was of breakage, of loss. When a customer purchased a piece, Ren would feel a pang of sorrow, a sense of separation from something he had brought into being. He would imagine the piece being dropped, cracked, or simply fading from memory. This fear of impermanence, this clinging to the form he had created, cast a shadow over his joy and kept his mind in a state of subtle tension. He would often spend hours after his work was done, simply gazing at his creations, wishing they could last forever, wishing he could protect them from the relentless touch of time and chance. His sleep was often disturbed by dreams of crumbling clay and shattered pottery, leaving him feeling restless and unrefreshed. One day, an old Zen master, known for his profound wisdom and gentle demeanor, passed through Ren's village. Hearing of the potter's skill, the master visited his workshop. He admired Ren's work, his fingers tracing the smooth curves of a perfectly glazed vase. He saw the beauty, but he also sensed the underlying anxiety in the young potter's eyes. "Young Ren," the master said, his voice like the soft murmur of the river. "Your hands create beauty, but your heart seems burdened. What troubles you?" Ren, surprised by the master's perception, confessed his fears. "Venerable One, I fear the impermanence of my creations. I pour my life into these forms only for them to be fragile, susceptible to breakage, destined to return to dust. How can I find peace when all that I create, all that I love, is destined to change and pass away?" The master smiled, a deep, compassionate smile that seemed to quiet the air in the workshop. He picked up a small, unglazed bowl, still soft and pliable. "Tell me, Ren, what is this bowl made of?" "Clay, master," Ren replied. "And where did this clay come from?" "From the earth, from the riverbed," Ren answered. "And where will it return, eventually?" the master asked gently, his eyes twinkling. Ren paused, then whispered, "To the earth, to dust." The master nodded. "Indeed. And the water you use to shape it, where does it come from? Where does it go?" from the rain, from the river. It evaporates, returns to the sky, Ren said, a flicker of understanding beginning to dawn within him. And the fire that hardens your pottery, the master continued, it consumes the wood, transforming it into ash, releasing heat and light. All things are in a constant state of transformation, young Ren. The clay, the water, the fire, the wood, even your own breath. They are all expressions of impermanence, constantly arising, changing, and passing away. The master then took the soft, unglazed bowl and with a gentle movement pressed his thumb into its side, reshaping it slightly. This bowl, in its perfect form, is beautiful. But in its potential for change, in its very essence of impermanence, it holds a deeper truth. Its beauty is not diminished by its transient nature, rather, it is enhanced. For it reminds us to appreciate each moment, each form, precisely because it will not last. Ren looked at the altered bowl, then at the master. The master's words were not a condemnation of his art, but an invitation to see it, and indeed all of life, through a different lens. He had been clinging to the idea of permanence, trying to freeze a moment in time, and that struggle had created his anxiety. He realized that the very fragility he feared was an intrinsic part of the beauty, a reminder of life's precious, fleeting nature. The master then led Ren outside, to the riverbank. Observe the river, Ren. It is never the same from one moment to the next. The water you see now has flowed from distant mountains and will soon be carried to the sea. Yet we call it the river. Is it not always changing, always flowing, always moving on? Ren watched the river, its surface shimmering under the afternoon sun, its currents carrying fallen leaves and tiny twigs downstream. He saw the constant movement, the ceaseless transformation, and yet the river remained. He understood that the river's essence was not in any single drop of water, but in its continuous flow. Your pottery, Ren, Master concluded, is like the river. Each piece is a beautiful moment in the flow of creation, a temporary form arising from the earth, shaped by your hands, fired by the flame, and eventually returning to its source. To resist its impermanence is to resist the very nature of life itself. Embrace the flow, young potter. Find your peace not in holding on, but in letting go, in appreciating the beauty of each passing moment. Ren spent the following days reflecting on the master's words. He returned to his workshop, but his approach to his craft had subtly shifted. He still worked with the same meticulous care, the same devotion, but now, as he shaped the clay, he felt a lightness, a freedom he had never known. He no longer clung to the idea of the finished piece as a permanent object. Instead, he saw it as a vibrant expression of the present moment, a dance between earth, water, fire, and his own skillful hands. When a piece was complete, he admired it, appreciated its beauty, and then, when it was sold or when it eventually broke, he felt not sorrow, but a quiet understanding. It was simply returning to the flow, transforming, just as all things do. He began to notice impermanence everywhere, not with dread, but with a sense of wonder. The blossoms on the cherry trees in spring, so vibrant and full of life, would inevitably fall, creating a delicate carpet on the ground, only to be replaced by green leaves and then the fiery colors of autumn. The clouds in the sky constantly shifted, forming new shapes, dissolving into nothingness, only to reappear in different forms. Even his own breath, a constant cycle of inhaling and exhaling, was a profound lesson in arising and passing away, moment by moment. As Ren embraced this understanding, the anxiety that had burdened him began to dissolve. The tension in his shoulders, the tightness in his chest, the constant worry in his mind, all began to soften and release. He found that his appreciation for each piece of pottery, for each moment of life, deepened precisely because he knew it would not last. He lived more fully in the present, savoring the beauty of what was, without the heavy weight of trying to hold on to it. His sleep became truly restorative. As he lay down each night, his mind at peace with the knowledge that the day, with all its joys and challenges, had passed, and the night, with its quiet darkness, was simply another phase in the endless flow of existence. And now, as you lie here, allow Ren's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice where your mind might be clinging, where it resists the natural flow of change. Perhaps it is a thought about a past event you wish had turned out differently, or a future outcome you desperately want to control. Perhaps it is a subtle resistance to the present moment, wishing it were otherwise. Just observe this clinging, this resistance, without judgment. See it for what it is, a natural but often unhelpful tendency of the mind. Then, gently, invite the understanding of impermanence into your awareness. Think of the seasons changing, the leaves falling and new buds emerging. Think of the clouds drifting across the sky, constantly reshaping themselves. Think of the gentle ebb and flow of the tides, always moving, always transforming. This is not a cause for sadness, but a profound liberation. When we accept that all things change, we are freed from the exhausting effort of trying to make them permanent. Feel this liberation begin to settle in your body. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax. Feel the gentle release in your chest, in your stomach, as if a tight knot is slowly unraveling. Your breath flows in and out, a perfect example of impermanence, each inhale arising, each exhale passing away, making space for the next. There is no need to hold on to any particular breath, just to allow it to flow, naturally and effortlessly. As you continue to breathe, imagine yourself by that tranquil river, watching the water flow past. Each ripple, each current, each leaf carried downstream is a testament to the ceaseless dance of change. You are not trying to stop the river, or to grasp at any single drop of water. You are simply observing, allowing, and in that allowing, you find a deep, quiet peace. Let your body sink even deeper into the surface beneath you, feeling completely supported, completely at ease. The anxieties born of clinging to permanence are gently dissolving, like mist in the morning sun. Your mind, once restless in its pursuit of certainty, is now finding a spaciousness, a quiet acceptance of life's ever-changing nature. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze to soften and turn inward. The day's events, the thoughts, the worries, are all transient, like the passing clouds. They have arisen, and now they are gently fading, making way for the deep, restorative stillness of the night. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to control. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle breeze of impermanence towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that all things change, and in that change, there is profound peace. Ren's transformation, born from the Zen master's simple wisdom, rippled through every aspect of his life. He no longer approached his days with a rigid expectation of how they should unfold. Instead, he met each morning with a quiet openness, understanding that every sunrise brought with it a fresh set of conditions, a new dance of arising and passing away. When a customer admired a piece, He felt a pure joy in its present beauty, without the underlying pang of future loss. When a piece inevitably broke, as even the most carefully crafted pottery sometimes does, he would gather the fragments not with despair, but with a gentle acceptance, perhaps even seeing a new kind of beauty in the brokenness, a testament to its journey. He understood that the form had simply returned to its elemental nature, ready to be reintegrated into the earth, just as the master had taught. This profound acceptance of impermanence extended beyond his craft. He noticed how his relationships, too, were constantly shifting and evolving, like the river. Friends came and went, conversations flowed and faded, and he learned to cherish each interaction for what it was in that moment, without trying to freeze it in time or lament its eventual change. He found that this release of clinging actually deepened his connections, allowing him to be more present, more authentic, and less burdened by the fear of what might be lost. The anxieties that had once plagued him, the fear of failure, the dread of separation, the worry about the future, began to dissipate like morning mist. They were no longer solid, formidable walls, but translucent veils that he could see through, understanding their transient nature. His village, too, seemed to reflect this wisdom. The ancient cedars, though seemingly steadfast, were constantly shedding old needles and growing new ones. The mountain peaks, unmoving for centuries, were slowly, imperceptibly, being reshaped by wind and rain. Ren saw that life was not about finding permanence, but about harmonizing with the ceaseless flow of change. And in this harmony, he discovered a deep, abiding peace that was not dependent on external circumstances, but resided within, an unshakable stillness at the very core of his being. This stillness, this profound acceptance, became his sanctuary. When the world felt chaotic, when unexpected events arose, he would return to the quiet understanding that this too shall pass. He would breathe, deeply and slowly, feeling the impermanence of each breath, each thought, each sensation. And in that simple act, he would find his anchor, his center. His days were filled with a quiet contentment, and his nights were blessed with a sleep so deep and restorative, it felt as though his very being was being renewed, washed clean by the gentle currents of impermanence. He had truly learned to dance with change, finding freedom and peace in its embrace. Now, as you lie here, allow yourself to fully absorb this liberating truth. Feel the gentle breeze of impermanence sweeping through your own mind and body. Notice any areas where you might still be holding on, clinging to a thought, a feeling, an expectation, or even a subtle tension in your muscles. There is no need to judge this. Clinging, only to observe it with kindness. Then, with each slow, soft exhale, imagine yourself gently releasing that grip. Let go of the need for things to be different than they are right now. Let go of any lingering regrets about the past, for the past is gone, like water that has flowed down the river. Let go of any worries about the future, for the future is yet to arrive, an unformed cloud in the vast sky. There is only this present moment, this breath, this profound and unfolding now. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress beneath you. Imagine that every cell in your body is softening, releasing, letting go. Your feet feel heavy and warm, your calves and thighs are relaxed, your hips are settled and still. Your stomach is soft, your chest is open, and your shoulders are completely dropped, free from any burden. Your arms and hands are loose and heavy, resting peacefully. Your neck is long and supple, and your jaw is completely unclenched. The muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes. Each breath you take is a soft wave, gently carrying you further into relaxation. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Inhale stillness, exhale restlessness. Feel yourself dissolving into the quietude, merging with the stillness that pervades all of existence. The concept of impermanence is no longer a source of fear, but a profound comfort. A reminder that all difficulties, all anxieties, all discomforts are also transient, destined to pass away, just like the clouds in the sky. Allow your mind to become like the vast, open sky itself, spacious and clear, observing the gentle arising and passing of thoughts without attachment. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to control, nothing to fear. You are safe, you are supported, and you are free to simply rest. As your eyelids grow heavier, as your breath deepens, surrender fully to this profound sense of peace. Let the gentle breeze of impermanence carry you effortlessly into the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. Drift now, softly, completely, into the quiet, boundless ocean of rest. Part 3. Anchoring in the breath, the present moment's embrace. Tonight, as the world outside fades into the soft embrace of darkness, you might still feel the lingering echoes of the day within you. Perhaps your mind is a busy thoroughfare, replaying conversations, planning for tomorrow, or dwelling on things that have already passed. This constant mental activity, this journeying into the past or future, is a common source of unease. We spend so much energy regretting what cannot be changed, or worrying about what has not yet happened, that we miss the profound simplicity and peace of the present moment. The mind, in its earnest attempt to make sense of the world, often pulls us away from the only reality we ever truly inhabit. This very breath, this very sensation, this very now. This constant mental time travel creates a subtle tension, a feeling of being unmoored, disconnected from the grounding reality of your own body and your immediate surroundings. You might feel it as a restlessness, a difficulty in settling down, a sense that something is always just out of reach. The past, with its regrets and missed opportunities, can feel like a heavy anchor dragging us backward. The future, with its uncertainties and demands, can feel like an irresistible current pulling us forward, creating a sense of urgency and apprehension. And caught between these two powerful forces, the present moment, the only place where peace truly resides, often goes unnoticed, unappreciated, and untended. But what if there was a simple, ever-present anchor that could always bring you back to this moment, to a place of profound stillness and calm? What if this anchor was as close as your very breath, a gentle guide always available to soothe the restless mind and settle the anxious heart? Tonight, we will delve into the practice of mindfulness, using the breath as this unwavering anchor. We will explore how stepping out of past regrets and future fears and into the simple, unfolding reality of the now cultivates a deep, unwavering stillness within. This practice is not about stopping thoughts, but about gently redirecting attention, allowing the mind to find its natural rhythm of peace, preparing it for deeper relaxation and restorative sleep. In a secluded mountain monastery, where the air was always crisp and the silence profound, lived a young novice monk named Hiroki. Hiroki was earnest and dedicated, eager to absorb the teachings of the Buddha. He diligently performed his duties, studied the sutras, and meditated for hours. Yet, despite his efforts, Hiroki found his mind to be a constant whirlwind. During meditation, his thoughts would race, pulling him into vivid memories of his life before the monastery, or catapulting him into anxieties about his progress, his ability to achieve enlightenment, or his standing among his peers. He would become frustrated, feeling that his mind was a wild horse he could not tame. He often felt a sense of urgency, a subtle pressure to do more, to be more, to achieve something profound. This urgency manifested as a constant tension in his body, a shallow breath, and a restless sleep. He would wake feeling as though he had been chasing his thoughts all night, never quite catching them, never quite finding rest. He longed for the deep, unwavering stillness he saw in the eyes of the elder monks, but it seemed to elude him, always just beyond his grasp. One day, during a communal meditation session, Hiroki's frustration reached a peak. His mind was particularly agitated, jumping from one thought to another like a frantic monkey. He felt a wave of despair wash over him, convinced he would never find peace. He opened his eyes, feeling defeated, and saw the monastery's abbot, an old master named Kensho, sitting across from him, his posture perfectly still, his face radiating a profound calm. After the session, Hiroki approached Kensho, bowing deeply. "Venerable master," he confessed, his voice tinged with anguish, "my mind is a torment. I try to meditate, but my thoughts are relentless. I am constantly pulled into the past or flung into the future. I cannot find stillness. How can I ever hope to achieve peace if I cannot even control my own mind?" Kensho listened patiently, his eyes filled with compassion. He then invited Hiroki to walk with him to the monastery's garden, a place of quiet beauty. As they walked, Kensho picked up a smooth, round stone from the path. "Hiroki," the master said, his voice soft yet clear, "your mind is like this stone. If you try to grasp it tightly, to force it into stillness, you will only feel the tension in your hand, and the stone will remain as it is. But what if you were to simply hold it gently?" He then extended his hand, palm open, holding the stone lightly. The mind, too, cannot be forced. It is its nature to think, to wander. To fight against it is like trying to stop the wind. But there is a way to gently guide it, to offer it a resting place. Kensho then placed the stone back on the path and turned to Hiroki. "Tell me, Hiroki, what is always with you, from the moment you are born until your last breath, yet requires no effort to maintain?" Hiroki pondered for a moment. "My body, master?" "Yes, your body," Kensho affirmed. "And within your body, what is the most constant, most reliable rhythm?" Hiroki closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them. "My breath, master. It is always there." "Exactly," Kensho smiled. "Your breath is your anchor, your ever-present guide to the present moment. When your mind wanders into the past, gently bring it back to your breath. When it leaps into the future, gently bring it back to your breath. Do not judge the wandering, simply observe it, and then, without force, return to the sensation of your inhale, your exhale." The master then demonstrated, taking a slow, deep breath. Feel the air entering your nostrils, the slight rise of your chest or abdomen, the gentle release as you exhale. This is not a technique to stop thinking, but a practice of returning, again and again, to the only moment that is truly real, this one. He continued, "The past is a memory, the future is an imagination. Only the present breath is reality. When you are fully present with your breath, you are fully present with life. And in that presence, there is a deep, unwavering stillness that transcends the noise of the mind." Hiroki began to practice this teaching with renewed dedication. He no longer fought his thoughts. When his mind would stray, he would simply acknowledge it, perhaps even with a gentle smile, and then, like a shepherd gently guiding a stray lamb, would bring his attention back to the sensation of his breath. He focused on the cool air entering his nostrils, the subtle expansion of his belly, the soft release of each exhale. He noticed that the breath was not just a physical act, but a bridge to a deeper awareness. As he anchored himself in its rhythm, the urgency he had felt began to dissipate. The past no longer held him captive, and the future no longer pulled him forward with such force. He discovered that the present moment was not empty or boring, but rich with subtle sensations. The warmth of the sun on his skin, the scent of pine needles in the air, the quiet hum of insects. Slowly, imperceptibly at first, a profound stillness began to settle within him. It was not a forced stillness, but a natural arising, like the calm after a storm. His mind still thought, but the thoughts no longer held the same power over him. They were like clouds passing across the sky, observed without attachment. He realized that peace was not something to be achieved in the future, but something to be discovered in the present, through the simple act of being fully aware. His sleep, too, transformed. When he lay down at night, instead of chasing his thoughts, he would gently rest his attention on his breath. He would feel the soft rise and fall of his chest, the quiet rhythm of his body, allowing it to lull him into a deep, restorative slumber. The breath became his constant companion, his gentle guide, leading him from the day's activity into the profound peace of the night. He had found his anchor, and in its embrace, he discovered an unwavering calm that permeated his entire being. And now, as you lie here, allow Hiroki's journey to resonate within your own experience. Feel the gentle invitation to return to your own breath, your own ever-present anchor. Notice where your mind might be wandering now. Is it revisiting the day's events, anticipating tomorrow, or perhaps simply feeling a general sense of restlessness? There is no need to judge these thoughts or feelings. Simply acknowledge them, gently, without attachment. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, bring your awareness to your breath. You don't need to change it, or force it, or make it any particular way. Just observe it. Feel the subtle sensation of the air as it enters your nostrils, cool and fresh. Follow it as it moves down into your lungs, feeling the gentle expansion of your chest or abdomen. And then, feel the soft, warm air as it leaves your body, carrying away any lingering tension or worry. Let your breath be your guide, your gentle companion. When your mind drifts, as it naturally will, simply notice that it has wandered, and then, without frustration, gently bring your attention back to the sensation of your inhale and your exhale. This is the practice, not of never wandering, but of always returning. Each return is an act of kindness to yourself, a step closer to stillness. Feel the profound simplicity of this moment. The past is gone. The future has not yet arrived. There is only this breath, this body, this present moment. Allow the rhythm of your breath to become a soothing lullaby, a gentle wave carrying you deeper into relaxation. With each exhale, imagine any remaining tension in your body dissolving, melting away like ice in warm water. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax completely. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you, completely supported, completely at ease. The restless mind, once caught between past and future, is now finding its resting place in the gentle embrace of the present moment. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze to soften and turn inward. The day's concerns, the thoughts, the worries, are all gently receding, like distant sounds fading into the quiet night. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. You are simply here, now, anchored in the profound stillness of your breath. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle rhythm of your breath towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift. Let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that your breath is always here, always guiding you home to peace. Hiroki's journey with the breath became a profound exploration, revealing layers of peace he never knew existed. He discovered that the breath was not merely air moving in and out of his body, but a living, pulsating connection to the very essence of life itself. When he paid close attention, he could feel the subtle energy, the qi, flowing through him, invigorating and calming him simultaneously. This awareness brought a new dimension to his meditation. Instead of a struggle against his thoughts, it became a gentle dance of returning, a compassionate embrace of the present. He noticed how the quality of his breath reflected the state of his mind. When his mind was agitated, his breath was shallow and quick. When his mind settled, his breath naturally deepened and slowed. This insight gave him a powerful tool. By consciously softening and deepening his breath, he could gently influence the state of his mind, guiding it towards tranquility. He learned to use his breath not as a rigid command, but as a tender invitation to stillness. This practice extended beyond his meditation cushion. Throughout his day, whether he was sweeping the monastery courtyard, preparing meals, or studying the ancient texts, he would periodically bring his awareness back to his breath. He would feel the simple rise and fall of his chest, the subtle sensations in his abdomen, and in those brief moments, he would reconnect with the present. The mundane tasks of monastic life became infused with a quiet sacredness, each movement, each interaction, touched by the calm presence of his breath. The sense of urgency that had once plagued him began to fade, replaced by a deep, unhurried rhythm. He found that he could accomplish his duties with greater efficiency and less stress, simply because he was fully present for each task, rather than being pulled in multiple directions by a restless mind. The elder monks noticed the change in Hiroki. His eyes, once clouded with worry, now held a clear, steady light. His movements were graceful and deliberate, his presence calm and grounded. He no longer sought external validation or worried about his progress. He simply was, fully and completely in each moment. He understood that enlightenment was not a distant goal to be achieved, but a continuous unfolding of presence, accessible through the simple act of breathing. One evening, as the sun dipped below the mountain peaks, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Hiroki sat by the monastery pond, observing the ripples on its surface. A gentle breeze stirred the water, creating intricate patterns that appeared and dissolved in an instant. He realized that his thoughts were much like those ripples, constantly arising, constantly changing, constantly passing away. But beneath the surface of the pond, the water itself remained still and deep. And just as the pond was not defined by its ripples, his true nature was not defined by his thoughts. He was the vast, still depth beneath the surface, and his breath was the gentle current that connected him to that profound stillness. This understanding brought a deep sense of liberation. The anxiety that had once gripped him, the fear of not being good enough, the worry about the future, the regret about the past, all of it began to dissolve into the spaciousness of his present awareness. He no longer felt the need to control his thoughts or to achieve a perfect state of mind. He simply allowed them to be, observing their transient nature and always returning, gently, to the anchor of his breath. In this continuous returning, he found not just peace, but a profound joy in the simple act of being alive, fully present, fully aware. And so, as you lie here now, allow yourself to fully embrace this profound wisdom. Let your breath be your guide, your gentle companion, leading you deeper and deeper into the present moment, into a state of profound relaxation and peace. There is nothing you need to do to make this happen, only to allow it. Bring your attention once more to the gentle rhythm of your breath. Feel the subtle sensations of the air moving in and out of your body. Notice the coolness on your inhale, the warmth on your exhale. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest or abdomen, a soft, rhythmic motion that is always there, always available. With each inhale, imagine a wave of calm and serenity washing over you, gently soothing any remaining tension or restlessness. With each exhale, imagine any lingering worries, any thoughts of the past or future, gently drifting away, carried out on the soft current of your breath. Let them go, effortlessly, without judgment. Feel your body becoming heavier and heavier, sinking deeper into the soft support beneath you. Your feet are completely relaxed, your ankles loose. Your calves and thighs are soft and heavy, releasing all tension. Your hips are settled, your lower back supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and at ease. Your shoulders are completely relaxed, falling away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides. Your neck is long and supple. Your jaw is completely unclenched. The muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards a quiet, peaceful center within you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. You are simply here, now, anchored in the profound stillness of your breath, in the gentle embrace of the present moment. Surrender fully to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle rhythm of your breath towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that your breath is always here, always guiding you home to peace. Part 4. The Path of Non-Resistance, Embracing What Is. Tonight, as you settle deeper into the quiet of your space, perhaps you notice a subtle tension within, a feeling of unease that sometimes arises when life doesn't quite unfold as we expect. It is a deeply human tendency, this urge to resist what is, to push away what we don't like, to fight against circumstances that feel unpleasant or unfair. We clench our jaws, furrow our brows, and tighten our bodies, as if our internal struggle can somehow alter the external reality. This resistance can manifest as frustration, anger, resentment, or a persistent undercurrent of anxiety, a feeling that we are constantly battling against the current of life. This internal conflict is exhausting. It drains our energy, clouds our minds, and keeps us from finding peace, even when the external world is calm. We spend countless moments wishing things were different, replaying scenarios, or mentally arguing with situations that have already occurred or are beyond our control. This is the mind's way of trying to assert its will, to force reality into alignment with its preferences. But reality, like a vast river, simply flows. And when we try to dam it, to redirect it with our bare hands, we only create turbulence and inner turmoil. You might feel this resistance now, a subtle tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a persistent thought that refuses to let go, a silent argument with what is. This is the burden of non-acceptance, the heavy weight of fighting against the present moment. But what if there was another way? What if true peace lay not in overcoming or changing every challenge, but in learning to meet it with an open heart, to embrace what is without struggle? What if the path to profound relaxation and inner stillness was found not in resistance, but in a gentle, radical acceptance? Tonight, we will explore this liberating wisdom. We will learn how to transform internal conflict into a deep sense of peace, allowing the body to settle, the mind to quiet, and the spirit to find profound rest. Let us invite the understanding that by releasing our resistance, we open ourselves to a deeper, more enduring calm, guiding us towards peaceful slumber. In a small, unassuming village, nestled at the foot of a perpetually mist-shrouded mountain, lived a young farmer named Kenji. Kenji was a diligent worker, tending his fields with great care, planting his crops according to the seasons and hoping for bountiful harvests. Yet, Kenji was perpetually anxious. His anxiety stemmed from his deep-seated resistance to anything that deviated from his plans. If the rains came too early, he would fret, convinced his seeds would rot. If they came too late, he would despair, certain his crops would wither. A sudden frost would send him into a panic. A blight on a single leaf would consume his thoughts. He would spend his days and nights battling the elements in his mind, arguing with the weather, lamenting the unpredictable nature of farming, and cursing the very soil if it didn't yield exactly as he wished. He believed that if he worried enough, if he resisted enough, if he fought hard enough against every potential setback, he could somehow force nature to bend to his will. This constant internal struggle left Kenji exhausted and bitter. His shoulders were always hunched, his brow perpetually furrowed, and his sleep was shallow and restless, filled with nightmares of ruined crops and barren fields. He saw other farmers, equally subject to nature's whims, who seemed to possess a quiet resilience, a calm acceptance that eluded him. He longed for their peace, but didn't know how to shed his own burden of resistance. One spring, after an unusually harsh winter had damaged many of his young sprouts, Kenji sat despondently by his fields, feeling utterly defeated. He raged internally against the cold, against the unpredictable climate, against his own perceived bad luck. As he sat there, consumed by his internal battle, an old Zen master, known for his simple yet profound teachings, happened to be passing by. The master, with his robes the color of faded earth and his eyes holding the depth of ancient wisdom, observed Kenji's distress. "Young farmer," the master said, his voice as gentle as a spring breeze, "your fields may be struggling, but your heart seems to be struggling even more. What troubles you so deeply?" Kenji poured out his frustrations, his voice tight with anger and despair. "Venerable master, I work tirelessly, I plan meticulously, yet nature conspires against me. The cold destroys my crops, the rain fails, the sun scorches. How can I find peace when I am constantly battling against forces I cannot control? I resist these misfortunes with all my might, but they overwhelm me." The master listened patiently, then knelt down and picked up a small, gnarled branch that had fallen from a nearby tree. He held it out to Kenji. "Tell me, Kenji, if you were to try and straighten this branch by force, to bend it against its natural curve, what would happen?" Kenji looked at the branch, then back at the master. "It would break, master. Or at the very least, it would spring back to its original shape, perhaps even more stubbornly." "Indeed," the master nodded. "And yet, you try to do the same with the river of life, with the currents of nature. You try to straighten the crooked branch, to force it into a shape it was not meant to hold. You resist the cold, you resist the rain, you resist the very nature of things. And in that resistance, you break your own spirit, and the circumstances remain as they are, perhaps even more stubbornly in your mind." The master then gently placed the branch back on the ground. The path of peace, young Kenji, is not found in resisting what is, but in embracing it. It is not about liking every circumstance, but about accepting its presence. When the cold comes, acknowledge the cold. When the rain falls, acknowledge the rain. When the crops fail, acknowledge the failure. Do not add the suffering of resistance to the suffering of the event itself. He continued, "To embrace what is not to be passive or to give up. It is to release the internal struggle, to stop fighting against reality. It is to say, this is how it is right now. And from that place of acceptance, true wisdom and skillful action can arise. You cannot control the weather, but you can choose how you respond to it. You can choose to plant different crops, to build better shelters, or simply to rest and wait for a more favorable season. But first, you must stop fighting the rain that is already falling." Kenji sat in silence, the master's words sinking deep into his troubled heart. He looked at the withered sprouts, then at the vast, indifferent sky. He realized the truth in the master's teaching. His resistance had not changed a single drop of rain or warmed a single frozen leaf. It had only added layers of suffering to his own mind. He had been so busy fighting reality that he had missed the opportunity to simply be with it, and from that place, to respond with wisdom instead of panic. Over the following weeks, Kenji began to practice the path of non-resistance. It was not easy at first. When a new challenge arose, his old habits of worry and frustration would try to resurface. But now, he had the master's words as his guide. When he felt the familiar tightening in his chest, the surge of anger, he would pause. He would take a deep breath and gently remind himself, "This is how it is right now." He learned to observe the rain without cursing it, to feel the cold without raging against it. He noticed that when he stopped fighting, a spaciousness opened within him. The problems did not disappear, but his experience of them changed profoundly. Instead of being consumed by anxiety, he found himself able to think more clearly, to assess the situation with a calm mind, and to find practical solutions. For instance, when a sudden pest infestation threatened his vegetables, instead of spiraling into despair, he simply observed the problem. He consulted his neighbors, researched natural remedies, and worked diligently to protect what he could. He accepted that some crops might be lost, but he no longer added the suffering of internal resistance to that loss. He found that even in the face of setbacks, a quiet resilience began to grow within him. He realized that non-resistance was not about becoming indifferent or uncaring. On the contrary, it allowed him to care more deeply, to engage more fully, because his energy was no longer wasted on fighting against reality. It was channeled into skillful action and compassionate understanding. He began to appreciate the subtle beauty of each season, even its challenges, seeing them as part of the natural cycle of life. His body, too, began to relax. The constant tension in his shoulders and jaw softened. His breath deepened, becoming a steady, calming rhythm. And his sleep, once tormented by restless thoughts, transformed into a profound, restorative embrace. He would lie down at night, no longer battling the day's events or dreading tomorrow's uncertainties, but simply resting in the quiet acceptance of what is, allowing his body and mind to sink into deep, peaceful slumber. He had found his peace not by controlling the world, but by transforming his relationship to it. And now, as you lie here, allow Kenji's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice where your mind might be resisting right now. Is there a thought you are fighting? A feeling you are trying to push away? A situation you wish were different? Just observe this resistance, this subtle clenching, without judgment. See it for what it is, an effort to control the uncontrollable, to argue with reality. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, Gently invite the practice of non-resistance into your awareness. Imagine yourself releasing the need to fight, to struggle, to push away. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine any resistance in your mind or body gently dissolving, melting away like ice in warm water. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax completely. Feel your body sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you, completely supported, completely at ease. Imagine your breath flowing effortlessly, like the river, accepting its own natural course. There is no need to change anything, no need to force anything. Simply allow yourself to be here, now, embracing what is in this very moment. This is not about giving up, but about letting go of the struggle. It is about finding freedom in acceptance. When you stop fighting, a vast spaciousness opens within you, a profound sense of peace that is always available, regardless of external circumstances. Allow yourself to rest in this spaciousness, this deep acceptance. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards a quiet, peaceful center within you. The day's events, the thoughts, the worries, are all gently receding, like distant sounds fading into the quiet night. There is nothing left to resist, nothing left to fight. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, embracing what is with a calm and open heart. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle flow of acceptance towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in embracing what is, you find true and lasting peace. Kenji's journey on the path of non-resistance was a gradual unfolding, a softening of his entire being. He began to see that the world was not inherently against him, but simply was. The seasons turned, the weather shifted, and life presented its challenges, not as personal affronts, but as natural occurrences. This realization brought with it a profound sense of liberation. He no longer felt like a small boat constantly battling towering waves. Instead, he began to feel like the vast ocean itself, capable of holding all the waves without being overwhelmed. His relationships with his fellow villagers also deepened. He became less prone to complaining about the weather or the hardships of farming, and more open to finding shared solutions and offering support. He noticed that when he stopped resisting his own circumstances, he also stopped resisting the circumstances of others. His heart softened, and a quiet compassion began to bloom within him. He found that when he accepted the imperfections of life, he also accepted the imperfections of himself and those around him, fostering a greater sense of connection and understanding. The village elder, seeing the transformation in Kenji, often remarked on his newfound tranquility. "Kenji," he would say, "you used to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Now, you carry the lightness of the sky in your heart." Kenji would simply smile, understanding that this lightness came from releasing the impossible task of trying to control everything, and embracing the profound wisdom of simply allowing things to be. He learned that true strength was not found in fighting, but in yielding. Like a willow tree bending with the wind rather than breaking against it, Kenji found resilience in flexibility, in adaptability. When a problem arose, he no longer met it with a clenched fist, but with an open hand and a curious mind. He would observe, assess, and then respond, not react. This shift in approach transformed his entire experience of life. Challenges no longer felt like insurmountable obstacles, but rather like natural features of the landscape, to be navigated with patience and wisdom. His anxiety, which had once been a constant, gnawing presence, gradually faded into the background. It no longer defined his days or disturbed his nights. He understood that anxiety was often the mind's way of resisting the present moment, of trying to force a different reality. But by embracing what is, he had disarmed anxiety of its power. He had found a deep, unwavering peace that was not dependent on perfect conditions, but on his internal state of acceptance. And when he lay down to sleep each night, this peace enveloped him completely. He would feel the day's activities gently recede, like ripples on a pond settling into stillness. There were no more internal arguments, no more battles with imagined scenarios. He simply surrendered to the quiet of the night, allowing his body and mind to rest deeply, knowing that whatever tomorrow might bring, he would meet it not with resistance, but with a calm and open heart. His sleep became a profound act of letting go, a complete surrender to the present moment, allowing his being to be fully restored. Now, as you continue to rest, allow the profound wisdom of non-resistance to permeate every cell of your being. Feel any remaining subtle tensions or clenchings in your body, and with each slow, gentle exhale, imagine them softening, releasing, dissolving. Let go of the need to fix, to change, to control. For this moment, there is nothing that needs to be different. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural, effortless rhythm. Each inhale is an acceptance of life flowing in. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to life flowing out. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the comfort beneath you. Your feet are completely relaxed, heavy, and warm. Your legs are loose and soft, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, your lower back supported and at ease. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides. Your neck is long and supple. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards a quiet, peaceful center within you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. There is nothing left to resist, nothing left to fight. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, embracing what is with a calm and open heart. Surrender to this feeling, allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle flow of acceptance towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in embracing what is, you find true and lasting peace. Part 5. The Radiance of Compassion, softening the edges of self. Tonight, as you lie in the gentle quiet, you may sometimes feel a subtle tension, a guardedness around your heart. This feeling often arises from a deep-seated habit of self-judgment, a constant inner critic that whispers doubts, highlights perceived flaws, and compares you to an idealized version of yourself or others. We build walls around our hearts, not just to protect ourselves from the outside world, but often to shield ourselves from our own harsh gaze. This internal criticism creates a profound sense of isolation, a feeling that we are not quite good enough, not entirely worthy of love or peace. It manifests as a quiet anxiety, a persistent feeling of unease, a constant striving for perfection that can never truly be met. This self-imposed harshness can feel like sharp edges within us, creating a rigid boundary between who we are and who we believe we should be. It prevents us from truly relaxing, from feeling safe in our own skin. You might feel this now as a tightness in your chest, a subtle clenching in your stomach, or a general sense of being on guard, even when there is no external threat. This is the burden of a heart that has forgotten its own inherent goodness, a mind that has become accustomed to finding fault rather than offering kindness. It keeps us restless, always seeking external validation, always fearing exposure, always longing for a warmth that seems just out of reach, because we haven't first offered it to ourselves. But what if the path to profound peace lay not in perfecting ourselves, but in softening these internal edges, in extending a boundless, unconditional kindness to the very core of our being? What if the deepest relaxation came from embracing ourselves completely, flaws and all, and allowing that warmth to radiate outwards? Tonight, we will turn towards the boundless practice of loving kindness, or metta, learning to cultivate compassion first for ourselves and then gently extending it to all beings. This profound teaching reveals how softening the heart dissolves the isolating walls of anxiety, fostering connection and inner warmth, gently easing the mind into a state of comfort and preparing it for deep, peaceful sleep. In a village nestled by a wide, slow-moving river lived a young weaver named Akari. Akari was exceptionally skilled, her tapestries renowned for their intricate patterns and vibrant colors. Yet, despite her talent, Akari was plagued by a relentless inner critic. She would spend countless hours at her loom, striving for absolute perfection, and even after completing a masterpiece, she would immediately find fault. A slightly uneven thread, a color that wasn't quite right, a pattern that could have been more complex. These perceived imperfections would gnaw at her. Her anxiety was a constant companion. She worried that her work wasn't good enough, that she wasn't good enough. She feared judgment from others, but the harshest judge was always within her own mind. This self-criticism created a deep sense of isolation. She felt she had to hide her true self, her vulnerabilities, behind a facade of unwavering competence. She rarely allowed herself to rest, constantly pushing, constantly striving, convinced that if she just worked harder, if she just became perfect, then she would finally find peace and acceptance. This internal pressure kept her body tense, her breath shallow, and her sleep fragmented, filled with dreams of tangled threads and unfinished tapestries. She yearned for a warmth she couldn't seem to generate for herself. One day, an old monk, whose monastery was known for its gardens of fragrant lotus flowers, visited the village. He watched Akari at her loom, observing her meticulous movements and the subtle tension in her shoulders. He saw the beauty of her work, but also the shadow of self-doubt in her eyes. "Young Akari," the monk said gently, his voice like the soft rustle of silk. "Your hands create such beauty, but your spirit seems burdened. What weighs so heavily upon your heart?" Akari, surprised by his insight, confessed her struggles. "Venerable Master, I strive for perfection, but I always fall short. My mind constantly finds fault with my work and with myself. I feel I am never good enough, never worthy of true peace. How can I silence this inner critic and find acceptance? The monk listened with deep compassion. He then picked up a single, delicate lotus petal that had fallen from a flower he carried. "Akari," he began, "this petal is not perfectly symmetrical. It has a tiny tear at its edge, and its color is not uniform. Yet, is it not beautiful?" Akari looked at the petal. Indeed, its slight imperfections seemed to add to its charm, a testament to its natural existence. "Yes, master," she said softly, "it is beautiful." "And so are you, Akari," the monk continued, his gaze warm and steady. "You are like this petal, a unique and beautiful creation, with your own inherent strengths and gentle imperfections. To constantly find fault, to endlessly criticize, is like trying to force this petal to be something it is not, to deny its natural beauty." He then sat beside her, inviting her to pause her weaving. The path to peace begins not with perfection, but with compassion. It begins with extending the same kindness to yourself that you would offer to a dear friend. Imagine a warm, gentle light radiating from your heart. This is the light of metta, of loving kindness. The monk then guided her. First, direct this light towards yourself. Silently repeat these phrases, feeling their meaning deeply. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and peace. Do not judge the thoughts that arise, simply return to the warmth of these intentions. Akari felt awkward at first. Her inner critic immediately whispered, "You don't deserve this. You're not worthy." But she remembered the monk's gentle guidance. Do not judge, simply return. She closed her eyes and focused on the warmth, repeating the phrases, allowing them to slowly seep into the hardened places within her. Now, the monk continued, imagine someone you love dearly, a child or a close friend. Extend that same warm light to them. May you be free from suffering. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and peace. Feel the connection, the shared humanity. As Akari practiced, she felt a subtle shift. The warmth she generated for her loved one seemed to soften the harshness she felt towards herself. The boundaries between her own suffering, the suffering of others, began to blur. Finally, the monk concluded, extend this light outwards, to all beings, even those you find challenging, even to the world itself. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease and peace. Understand, Akari, that your inner critic, your anxiety, arises from a place of suffering. True compassion embraces all suffering, including your own. Akari spent the following days integrating the monk's teaching into her life. She continued to weave, but her approach was different. When her inner critic would arise, she would gently acknowledge it, then return to the practice of metta for herself. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. She began to see her imperfections not as failures, but as unique aspects of her being, like the tiny tear in the lotus petal. She found that as she softened her heart towards herself, she also felt a deeper connection to others. The isolating walls she had built began to crumble, replaced by a sense of warmth and belonging. She realized that her anxiety had been fueled by a profound lack of self-compassion, a constant internal battle that had kept her from experiencing true peace. Her body, once tense and guarded, began to relax. Her shoulders softened, her jaw unclenched, and her breath deepened, becoming a gentle, steady flow. She found that she could work with greater focus and joy, not because she was striving for perfection, but because she was working from a place of kindness and acceptance. And when she lay down to sleep each night, she would practice metta, first for herself, then for her loved ones, and then for all beings. She imagined a radiant warmth filling her heart, expanding outwards, enveloping her in a cocoon of peace. The anxieties born of self-criticism and isolation gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner warmth, safety, and connection. Her sleep became deep and restorative, a peaceful surrender to the boundless embrace of compassion. She had found her peace not in being perfect, but in being perfectly kind to herself. And now, as you lie here, allow Akari's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice where you might be holding on to self-criticism, where you might be creating sharp edges within yourself. Perhaps there's a thought of, "I should have done better," or "I'm not enough." Just observe these thoughts and feelings, gently, without judgment. See them as expressions of a mind that has forgotten its own inherent goodness. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, invite the radiance of compassion to fill your heart. Imagine a gentle, warm light glowing softly in the center of your chest. This light is pure kindness, pure acceptance, pure love. Direct this warm light towards yourself. Silently or in your mind, repeat these phrases, allowing their meaning to sink deep into your being. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and peace. Feel the warmth of these intentions spreading through your chest, softening any tightness, releasing any guardedness. Let this warmth flow down into your stomach, relaxing any knots or tension. Feel it moving into your shoulders, arms, and hands, releasing any need to grasp or control. Let it flow into your legs and feet, grounding you in a sense of gentle acceptance. Allow this warmth to permeate every cell of your body, dissolving any remaining resistance, any lingering self-judgment. You are worthy of this kindness, simply because you exist. You are worthy of peace, simply because you are here. As you continue to breathe, feel this radiant warmth expanding, gently softening all the edges of yourself. Imagine it dissolving the walls of isolation, connecting you to a deeper sense of belonging, a profound sense of safety. There is nothing to prove, nothing to achieve, nothing to fix. You are simply here, held in the boundless embrace of compassion. Let your body sink even deeper into the softness beneath you, feeling completely supported, completely at ease. The anxieties born of self-criticism are gently dissolving, like mist in the morning sun. Your mind, once restless in its pursuit of perfection, is now finding a spaciousness, a quiet acceptance of your own beautiful, imperfect self. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze to soften and turn inward, towards this radiant center of compassion within you. The day's concerns, the thoughts, the worries, are all gently receding, like distant sounds fading into the quiet night. There is nothing left to criticize, nothing left to fear. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, enveloped in the warmth of loving kindness. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle radiance of compassion towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in the radiance of compassion, you find true and lasting peace. Akari's practice of metta became her most cherished tool, a wellspring of inner peace that she could draw upon at any moment. She discovered that compassion was not a fleeting emotion, but a deep, abiding quality of the heart, capable of transforming even the most persistent anxieties. When the old familiar whispers of self-doubt would arise, she no longer engaged in battle with them. Instead, she would simply acknowledge their presence and then gently apply the balm of loving kindness. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. She found that these phrases, repeated with genuine intention, had the power to disarm the inner critic, softening its voice until it faded into the background, replaced by a quiet, steady warmth. This inner transformation had a profound impact on her outward life. Her weaving, once a source of intense pressure, became an act of joyful creation. She still strived for excellence, but now it was born from a place of love for her craft, rather than fear of imperfection. Her tapestries, infused with this newfound peace, seemed to radiate a subtle beauty that captivated all who saw them. Customers remarked not just on the skill, but on the serene quality of her work, a reflection of her own inner state. Her relationships with others also blossomed. When she encountered someone who was difficult or critical, instead of reacting with defensiveness or anxiety, she would silently extend metta to them. May you be free from suffering. May you be happy. She realized that harshness in others often stemmed from their own inner struggles, and by offering compassion, even silently, she could prevent their negativity from disturbing her own peace. The walls she had once built between herself and the world dissolved, replaced by a sense of interconnectedness, a profound understanding that all beings, including herself, simply desired happiness and freedom from suffering. Akari understood that the anxiety she had carried for so long was fundamentally rooted in a sense of separation. Separation from her true self, separation from others, separation from the inherent goodness of existence. Compassion was the bridge that healed these separations, dissolving the sharp edges of the ego and revealing the vast, boundless nature of her own heart. She no longer felt isolated or alone. Instead, she felt deeply connected, a part of the grand tapestry of life, woven with threads of kindness and understanding. This profound realization brought a deep, abiding sense of safety and belonging. The constant tension in her body, which had been a lifelong companion, finally released its grip. Her breath flowed freely, her shoulders were relaxed, and her face held a gentle, serene expression. She had found a peace that was not dependent on external circumstances or the approval of others, but on the inexhaustible wellspring of compassion within her own heart. And when she lay down to sleep each night, her final thoughts were not of worry or self-criticism, but of gratitude and loving kindness. She would silently offer metta to herself, to her loved ones, to her village, and to the entire world, feeling a profound connection to all beings. This practice would lull her into a deep, restorative sleep, a sleep so peaceful that she would awaken each morning feeling refreshed, renewed, and ready to meet the day with an open heart and a calm mind. She had truly learned that the path to freedom from anxiety and to profound inner peace was paved with the boundless radiance of compassion. Now, as you continue to rest, allow this profound understanding to settle deeply within you. Feel the gentle, warm light of compassion continuing to glow in your heart, expanding softly with each breath. Let it wash over any remaining areas of tension, any lingering thoughts of self-judgment or criticism. Imagine these thoughts softening, dissolving, like shadows disappearing in the morning light. Bring your attention to your body, feeling its weight and warmth. Let your feet feel utterly heavy and relaxed, your toes soft and still. Your ankles are loose, your calves and thighs are completely at ease, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, sinking deeper into the mattress, your lower back fully supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet, expanding gently with each breath. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Each inhale brings a fresh wave of peace and warmth. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the profound comfort of this moment. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this radiant center of compassion within you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of self-criticism and isolation have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner warmth, safety, and connection. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, enveloped in the boundless warmth of loving kindness. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle radiance of compassion towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in the radiance of compassion you find true and lasting peace. Part 6. Beyond the Mask, Unveiling the Empty Self. Tonight, as you lie in the quiet stillness, perhaps you sometimes feel a subtle pressure, a quiet hum of anxiety related to who you are or who you believe you should be. We often carry within us a deeply ingrained idea of a fixed self, a consistent I that must perform, achieve, and maintain a certain image. This persistent effort to define ourselves, to live up to expectations, whether our own or those we perceive from others, can be incredibly exhausting. We build elaborate masks, personas crafted for different situations, always striving to appear competent, strong, or perfectly composed. But beneath these layers, there often lies a profound vulnerability, a fear that if the mask slips, if our true, unadorned self is revealed, we might not be enough, or worse, that we might be rejected. This clinging to a fixed identity, this constant need to be someone, creates a subtle but pervasive anxiety. It manifests as a fear of judgment, a dread of failure, a reluctance to be truly authentic. We become trapped in a continuous performance, always on guard, always trying to control how others perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. This internal striving keeps the mind restless, unable to fully relax, always measuring, always comparing, always trying to solidify something that is inherently fluid and ever-changing. You might feel this tension now, a tightness in your chest, a sense of guardedness, or a quiet exhaustion from the day's efforts to maintain your various roles. This is the burden of the self, the heavy weight of clinging to an illusion of permanence in a world of constant flux. But what if the deepest peace, the most profound freedom, lay not in strengthening this fixed self, but in gently unveiling it, in understanding its true nature as empty of inherent, independent existence? What if releasing the burden of this mask allowed for a spaciousness, a lightness, and an authentic connection that transcends all fear? Tonight, we will gently explore this liberating wisdom, guiding you to understand that the self is not a solid, unchanging entity, but a beautiful, ever-flowing stream of experience. This profound teaching reveals how understanding the nature of no-self dissolves the isolating walls of anxiety, fostering a sense of boundless freedom and leading to a deep, peaceful surrender, preparing your mind and body for restorative sleep. In a remote mountain hermitage, surrounded by ancient pines and the whisper of the wind, lived a young scholar monk named Kenzo. Kenzo was brilliant, his mind sharp and inquisitive. He had dedicated his life to studying the Buddhist scriptures, meticulously analyzing every sutra, every commentary. He prided himself on his intellectual understanding of the Dharma, on his ability to debate complex philosophical points, and on the respect he garnered from his peers for his profound knowledge. He had built a strong identity around being the wise scholar Kenzo. Yet, beneath this intellectual prowess, Kenzo harbored a deep, gnawing anxiety. He constantly worried about maintaining his reputation, about making a mistake in his interpretations, about being challenged by someone more learned. He feared that if his knowledge ever faltered, if his arguments were ever disproven, his entire sense of self would crumble. He clung fiercely to his identity as a scholar, believing that this fixed self was the source of his worth and his security. This clinging manifested as a subtle rigidity in his posture, a constant tension in his brow, and a restless mind that perpetually replayed debates and rehearsed future arguments. His sleep was often disturbed by intellectual puzzles and the fear of intellectual failure, leaving him feeling drained and unrefreshed. One day, an old, eccentric Zen master, known for his unconventional teachings and his profound, wordless wisdom, visited the hermitage. The master, whose name was Ryokan, observed Kenzo during a Dharma discussion. He noticed Kenzo's sharp intellect, but also the subtle anxiety that flickered in his eyes, the way he subtly puffed up his chest when presenting his arguments. After the discussion, Ryokan invited Kenzo to walk with him through the pine forest. As they walked, Ryokan suddenly stopped beside a gnarled, ancient pine tree. "Tell me, Kenzo," Ryokan said, his voice like the rustle of dry leaves. "What is this tree?" Kenzo, surprised by the simple question, replied, "Master, it is an ancient pine tree. Its roots run deep, its trunk is strong, its branches reach towards the sky. It is a pine tree." Ryokan nodded slowly. "Indeed. But is it the roots? Is it the trunk? Is it the branches, the needles, the sap, the bark? If you remove the roots, is it still a tree? If you remove the branches, is it still a tree? If you remove the needles, is it still a tree? At what point does it cease to be the tree?" Kenzo paused, pondering. "Well, Master, it is the collection of all these parts, working together, that makes it a tree. It is the form, the function." Ryokan smiled, a deep, knowing smile. "And yet, each part is constantly changing. The needles fall and new ones grow. The bark sheds, the sap flows. The tree you saw yesterday is not precisely the tree you see today. And the tree itself is dependent on the earth, the water, the sun, the air. Can you find a single, unchanging, independent treeness within it?" Kenzo felt a flicker of unease. He had always thought of the tree as a solid, fixed entity. Now the master was dissolving its very essence. "And so it is with your self, Kenzo," Ryokan continued, his gaze gentle. "You cling to the idea of the wise scholar Kenzo, a fixed, unchanging entity. But where is this Kenzo? Is it your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your knowledge? If you remove your body, are you still Kenzo? If your thoughts change, are you still Kenzo? If your memories fade, are you still Kenzo? Can you find a single, unchanging, independent Kenzo-ness within you?" Kenzo stood in stunned silence. He had always identified so strongly with his intellect, his knowledge, his reputation. Now, The master was pointing to the fluid, interdependent, and ultimately empty nature of that very identity. He realized that his anxiety stemmed from his desperate attempt to hold on to something that was, by its very nature, ungraspable. He had been trying to build a fortress around a mirage. The self, Ryokan explained, is like a river. We give it a name, we say the river, but it is never the same from one moment to the next. The water constantly flows, the banks shift, the pebbles tumble. Can you find a permanent riverness within it? No. The river is a process, a flow, an ever-changing collection of elements. And yet, we call it the river. It is not that the river does not exist, it is that it exists as an interdependent, impermanent, and ultimately empty phenomenon. Your self is the same, Kenzo. It is a collection of experiences, thoughts, feelings, perceptions, constantly arising, changing, and passing away. It is dependent on countless causes and conditions. There is no solid, independent, unchanging I that you can point to and say, "This is me," permanently. This is the profound wisdom of anatta, or no self. It is not that you do not exist, but that you exist as an open, spacious, ever-changing process, free from the burden of a fixed identity. Kenzo spent the following weeks reflecting deeply on Ryokan's words. He returned to his studies, but his approach was utterly transformed. He no longer clung to his knowledge as a source of identity or security. Instead, he saw it as a temporary collection of insights, useful for understanding, but not defining. When he engaged in discussions, he did so with a newfound lightness, no longer needing to prove himself, no longer fearing challenge. He realized that the anxiety he had carried was the direct result of his clinging to a self that was, in reality, empty of inherent existence. He began to observe his own thoughts and feelings not as his thoughts and his feelings, but simply as thoughts and feelings arising and passing within the vast spaciousness of awareness. He saw his body not as a fixed container, but as a collection of interdependent elements, constantly changing, constantly renewing. This understanding brought a profound sense of liberation. The pressure to perform, to maintain an image, to be the wise scholar Kenzo, gently dissolved. He discovered that letting go of the fixed self did not mean dissolving into nothingness. On the contrary, it opened him to a vaster, more interconnected reality. He felt a profound connection to all beings, understanding that they, too, were part of this boundless flow, free from the illusion of a separate, isolated self. The world, once seen through the narrow lens of his personal identity, now expanded into an infinite tapestry of interdependent existence. His body, once rigid with tension, began to soften. His shoulders relaxed, his jaw unclenched, and his breath deepened, flowing freely and easily. The constant mental striving ceased, replaced by a quiet, open awareness. And his sleep, once tormented by the anxieties of self-definition, became deep and utterly peaceful. He would lie down at night, no longer burdened by the need to be someone, but simply resting in the vast, boundless embrace of pure awareness, allowing his consciousness to merge with the quiet spaciousness of the night. He had found his peace not in defining himself, but in unveiling the empty, luminous nature of self. And now, as you lie here, allow Kenzo's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice where your mind might be clinging to an idea of who you are or who you should be. Perhaps it's a role you play, an achievement you identify with, or a characteristic you feel defines you. Just observe this clinging, this subtle effort to solidify your identity without judgment. See it for what it is, a natural but often exhausting tendency of the mind. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, gently invite the understanding of no self into your awareness. This is not about disappearing, but about expanding. Imagine your self not as a solid, separate entity, but as a vast, open sky. Your thoughts, feelings, memories, and roles are like clouds drifting across that sky. They are present, they are real, but they do not define the sky itself. The sky remains vast, open, and unchanging, regardless of the clouds that pass through it. Feel this spaciousness begin to settle in your body. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax completely. Feel the gentle release in your chest, in your stomach, as if a tight knot is slowly unraveling, making space for a profound sense of lightness. Your breath flows in and out, effortlessly, a perfect example of this constant arising and passing away, without a fixed breather holding onto it. As you continue to breathe, imagine any remaining tension, any lingering sense of a rigid, separate self, gently dissolving into this vast spaciousness. Let go of the need to perform, to prove, to define. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to protect. You are simply here, now, an open, luminous awareness, interconnected with all of existence. Let your body sink even deeper into the surface beneath you, feeling completely supported, completely at ease. The anxieties born of clinging to a fixed self are gently dissolving, like mist in the morning sun. Your mind, once restless in its pursuit of definition, is now finding a boundless freedom, a quiet acceptance of your own fluid, ever-changing nature. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze to soften and turn inward, towards this vast, open spaciousness within you. The day's concerns, the thoughts, the worries are all gently receding, like distant sounds fading into the quiet night. There is nothing left to define, nothing left to protect. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, resting in the boundless embrace of your true, empty nature. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle understanding of no self, towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in unveiling the empty self, you find true and lasting peace. Kenzo's understanding of the empty self was not an intellectual concept he merely grasped, but a living, breathing reality he embodied. He found that this realization did not diminish his individuality or his capacity for action. Rather, it enhanced them. Without the burden of a fixed identity to defend or maintain, his mind became clearer, his actions more spontaneous and authentic. He could engage with the world with a profound sense of freedom, no longer constrained by the fear of how his actions reflected on him. He observed how the illusion of a separate, solid self fueled much of the world's suffering, the grasping, the aversion, the endless cycle of desire and disappointment. By seeing through this illusion within himself, he developed a deeper empathy for others, understanding that their struggles, too, were often rooted in the same fundamental misunderstanding. This compassion flowed naturally from his spacious awareness, connecting him to all beings in a way that transcended the superficial boundaries of individual identity. His scholarly pursuits, once a source of anxiety and self-validation, became a joyful exploration of wisdom for its own sake. He shared his insights not to impress, but to genuinely illuminate, recognizing that the wisdom itself was not his, but a universal truth flowing through him. He became a conduit for understanding, rather than a possessor of knowledge. This shift brought a profound lightness to his being, an inner buoyancy that lifted him above the petty concerns of ego. The hermitage, once a place where he sought to perfect Kenzo, now became a sanctuary where Kenzo could simply dissolve into the vastness of existence. He found beauty in the simple acts of daily life, the warmth of his tea, the sound of the wind through the pines, the quiet contemplation of a single leaf. These moments, once overshadowed by the clamor of his self-preoccupation, now shone with a profound clarity and peace. His anxiety, which had been so intricately woven into the fabric of his identity, gradually unraveled and disappeared. He understood that the fear of not being enough or of losing himself was only possible when there was a fixed self to be lost or to measure up. When he realized that the self was empty, fluid, and interconnected, there was nothing left to fear. This was the ultimate liberation, the profound peace that arises when the illusion of separation is unveiled. And when he lay down to sleep each night, Kenzo no longer carried the weight of his identity. He simply rested, allowing his consciousness to expand beyond the confines of his individual form, merging with the boundless quiet of the night. His sleep was not just physical rest, but a deep spiritual renewal, a complete surrender to the vast, empty spaciousness that was his true nature. He would drift into slumber, feeling utterly free, utterly at peace, knowing there was nothing to grasp, nothing to defend, nothing to be but pure, unconditioned awareness. Now, as you continue to rest, allow yourself to fully embrace this liberating truth. Feel the spaciousness that arises when you gently release the need to be a fixed, separate self. Imagine any lingering tension in your body, any subtle clenching, as simply the residue of clinging to an identity. With each slow, gentle exhale, imagine these tensions softening, releasing, dissolving into the vastness of your awareness. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural, effortless rhythm. Each inhale is an invitation to expand, to open. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the boundless nature of your being. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the comfort beneath you. Your feet are completely relaxed, heavy and warm, your toes soft and still. Your ankles are loose, your calves and thighs are completely at ease, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, sinking deeper into the mattress, your lower back fully supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet, expanding gently with each breath. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you, from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this vast, open spaciousness within you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to a fixed self have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner lightness, freedom, and interconnectedness. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, resting in the boundless embrace of your true, empty nature. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle understanding of no self, towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in unveiling the empty self, you find true and lasting peace. Compartment 7. The wisdom of letting go, trusting the river's flow. Tonight, as you settle deeper into the quiet, you might feel a familiar tension, a subtle grasping, a quiet resistance to the way things are or the way they might become. This feeling often arises from our deep-seated need to control outcomes, to steer the course of our lives with unwavering certainty. We plan, we strategize, we exert immense effort, believing that if we just try hard enough, we can dictate every result, ensure every success, and avert every potential difficulty. This relentless striving, this refusal to surrender to the unknown, becomes a heavy burden, a constant source of anxiety. We cling to expectations, to desired futures, and to the illusion that our will alone can bend reality to our preferences. This clinging creates a profound sense of unease. We become like a small boat fighting against a strong current, exhausting ourselves in the struggle rather than allowing the river to carry us. The mind becomes restless, perpetually engaged in a mental tug-of-war with life, always trying to force a particular outcome, always fearing what might happen if we simply let go. You might feel this now as a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a persistent mental loop, replaying scenarios and trying to find a way to control them. This is the burden of holding on, the heavy weight of trying to manage the unmanageable, keeping us from the profound peace that comes with surrender. But what if true peace lay not in controlling every outcome, but in trusting the natural unfolding of life, in surrendering to the river's flow? What if the deepest relaxation came from releasing the need to steer and simply allowing ourselves to be carried by the currents of existence? Tonight, we will explore this liberating wisdom, guiding you to understand the art of surrender. We will learn how to shed the heavy burden of worry, finding deep relaxation as if drifting on calm waters, preparing your mind and body for restorative sleep. Let us invite the understanding that by letting go, we open ourselves to a deeper, more enduring calm, allowing life to carry us towards profound peace. In a small, serene village nestled beside a wide, slow-moving river, lived a young fisherman named Hiroshi. Hiroshi was skilled with his nets and his boat, but he was perpetually anxious. His anxiety stemmed from his relentless need to control his catches. Before each outing, he would meticulously plan his route, analyze the weather, and study the river currents, convinced that if he just planned enough, he could guarantee a bountiful harvest of fish. Yet, the river was unpredictable. Some days, despite all his efforts, the fish were scarce. Other days, a sudden storm would force him back to shore, his nets empty. Hiroshi would return home, consumed by frustration and self-reproach. He would replay every decision, every movement, convinced that if he had only done something differently, he could have controlled the outcome. He clung fiercely to the idea that his success depended solely on his own effort and control, and any deviation from his desired results sent him into a spiral of worry and despair. This constant striving and clinging to outcomes left Hiroshi exhausted. His body was tense, his jaw clenched, and his sleep was often disturbed by dreams of empty nets and lost opportunities. He saw other fishermen, equally subject to the river's whims, who seemed to possess a quiet contentment, a resilience that eluded him. They accepted the lean days with the same grace as the abundant ones, and their peace seemed unwavering. Hiroshi longed for their peace, but didn't know how to release his own burden of control. One particularly difficult season, after weeks of meager catches, Hiroshi sat by the riverbank, his head in his hands, feeling utterly defeated. He raged internally against the river, against his bad luck, against his own perceived failures. As he sat there, consumed by his internal battle, an old Zen master, known for his profound wisdom and his deep connection to nature, happened to be walking by. The master, whose name was Jiro, observed Hiroshi's distress. "Young Hiroshi," Jiro said, his voice like the gentle lapping of the river against the shore. "Your nets may be empty, but your heart seems even emptier. What troubles you so deeply?" Hiroshi poured out his frustrations, his voice tight with anger and despair. "Venerable Master, I work tirelessly, I plan meticulously, yet the river defies me. I try to control my catches, to ensure my livelihood, but it is all in vain. How can I find peace when I am constantly battling against forces I cannot control? I cling to the hope of a good catch, but it always seems to slip away." Jiro listened patiently, then knelt down and picked up a small, smooth pebble from the riverbank. He held it out to Hiroshi. "Tell me, Hiroshi, if you were to try and stop this river from flowing, to hold back its mighty current with your bare hands, what would happen?" Hiroshi looked at the vast river, then back at the pebble. "It would be impossible, Master. The river would simply flow around me or sweep me away. My efforts would be futile." "Indeed," Jiro nodded. "And yet, you try to do the same with the river of life, with the currents of existence. You try to stop its flow, to control its direction, to dictate its outcomes. You cling to the idea of a perfect catch, a guaranteed result. And in that clinging, you exhaust yourself. You create your own suffering, and the river continues to flow as it flows." The master then gently tossed the pebble into the river, watching the ripples spread and disappear. "The wisdom of letting go, young Hiroshi, is not about becoming passive or indifferent. It is about releasing the need to control what cannot be controlled. It is about trusting the natural unfolding, the inherent wisdom of the river itself. You can cast your net with skill, you can choose your spot with care, but you cannot command the fish to enter your net, nor can you stop the storm from brewing." He continued, "To let go is to release the heavy burden of expectation. It is to say, I will do my best, and then I will trust the flow. When you stop fighting, a vast spaciousness opens within you. You become like a leaf floating effortlessly on the river, carried by its current, rather than a stone desperately trying to hold its ground. The river knows its way to the sea, and life knows its way to its own unfolding. Trust that wisdom." Hiroshi sat in silence, the master's words sinking deep into his troubled heart. He looked at the vast, flowing river, then at his own clenched hands. He realized the truth in the master's teaching. His clinging to outcomes had not brought him more fish, it had only brought him more suffering. He had been so busy trying to control the river that he had missed the opportunity to simply be with it, to flow with its natural rhythm. Over the following weeks, Hiroshi began to practice the wisdom of letting go. It was not easy at first. When he cast his nets, the old urge to worry about the catch would try to resurface. But now, he had the master's words as his guide. When he felt the familiar tightening in his chest, the surge of anxiety, he would pause. He would take a deep breath and gently remind himself, I will do my best, and then I will trust the flow. He learned to observe the river without trying to dominate it, to feel the currents without fighting against them. He noticed that when he stopped clinging to the outcome, a spaciousness opened within him. The challenges did not disappear, but his experience of them changed profoundly. Instead of being consumed by anxiety, he found himself able to fish with greater presence, to appreciate the beauty of the sunrise over the water, the feel of the cool breeze on his face, the simple act of being on the river. For instance, when a day yielded a small catch, instead of spiraling into despair, he simply acknowledged it. He would then turn his attention to mending his nets with care, or sharing a quiet meal with his family, accepting the day for what it was. He found that even in the face of uncertainty, a quiet contentment began to grow within him. He realized that letting go was not about apathy, but about a profound trust in the interconnectedness of life. It allowed him to engage more fully, to act with greater skill and presence, precisely because his energy was no longer wasted on fighting against reality. His body, too, began to relax. The constant tension in his shoulders and jaw softened. His breath deepened, becoming a steady, calming rhythm, mirroring the gentle flow of the river. And his sleep, once tormented by restless thoughts, transformed into a profound, restorative embrace. He would lie down at night, no longer battling the day's outcomes or dreading tomorrow's uncertainties, but simply resting in the quiet acceptance of what is, allowing his body and mind to sink into deep, peaceful slumber. He had found his peace, not by controlling the river, but by trusting its flow. And now, as you lie here, allow Hiroshi's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice where your mind might be clinging right now. Is there an expectation you are holding on to? A desired outcome you are trying to force? A fear of what might happen if you simply let go? Just observe this clinging, this subtle effort to control without judgment. See it for what it is, an exhausting attempt to steer the unsteerable. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, gently invite the wisdom of letting go into your awareness. Imagine yourself releasing the need to control, to struggle, to force. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine any resistance in your mind or body gently dissolving, melting away like ice in warm water. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, the small muscles around your eyes relax completely. Feel your body sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you, completely supported, completely at ease. Imagine your breath flowing effortlessly, like the river, accepting its own natural course. There is no need to change anything, no need to force anything. Simply allow yourself to be here, now, trusting the flow of this very moment. This is not about giving up, but about finding freedom in surrender. It is about recognizing that true power lies in aligning with life's currents rather than fighting against them. When you stop clinging, a vast spaciousness opens within you, a profound sense of peace that is always available, regardless of external circumstances. Allow yourself to rest in this spaciousness, this deep trust. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards a quiet, peaceful center within you. The day's events, the thoughts, the worries are all gently receding, like distant sounds fading into the quiet night. There is nothing left to control, nothing left to force. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, trusting the river's flow with a calm and open heart. Surrender to this feeling, allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of letting go towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in trusting the river's flow, you find true and lasting peace. Hiroshi's journey into the wisdom of letting go transformed not only his fishing, but his entire way of being. He began to approach each day with a quiet sense of adventure, understanding that while he could prepare and act skillfully, the ultimate outcome was part of a larger, intricate dance of existence. This release of control did not make him less responsible. On the contrary, it made him more present, more attuned to the subtle shifts in the river, the whispers of the wind, and the patterns of the fish. He learned to listen to the river rather than trying to command it. He noticed how his relationships with his family and fellow villagers also deepened. Without the constant internal pressure of needing to control, he became more open, more patient, and more genuinely present for those around him. When difficulties arose in the village, he no longer met them with frustration, but with a calm willingness to contribute his effort and trust in the collective wisdom of the community. He understood that just as the river flowed, so too did the currents of human connection, and that true harmony lay in allowing these currents to move naturally without trying to force them into a rigid pattern. The village elder, observing Hiroshi's profound change, once remarked, "Hiroshi, you used to row against the current. Now, you simply let the current carry you, and yet you arrive exactly where you need to be, with a peaceful heart." Hiroshi understood that this peace came from a deep, inner knowing that he was part of something vast and intelligent, and that his role was not to control it, but to participate in its flow with grace and trust. His anxiety, which had been so deeply tied to his need for predictable outcomes, gradually dissolved. He realized that the fear of the unknown was only powerful when he resisted the unknown. When he embraced the river's flow, the unknown became simply what is, a natural part of the journey, no longer a source of dread, but an invitation to discovery. This was the ultimate liberation, the profound peace that arises when the illusion of absolute control is unveiled. And when he lay down to sleep each night, Hiroshi no longer carried the weight of his expectations or the burden of trying to orchestrate tomorrow. He simply rested, allowing his consciousness to expand beyond the confines of his individual concerns, merging with the boundless quiet of the night. His sleep was not just physical rest, but a deep spiritual renewal, a complete surrender to the vast, flowing spaciousness that was his true nature. He would drift into slumber, feeling utterly free, utterly at peace, knowing there was nothing to grasp, nothing to defend, nothing to be but pure, unconditioned awareness, carried effortlessly by the river of life. Now, as you continue to rest, allow yourself to fully embrace this liberating truth. Feel the spaciousness that arises when you gently release the need to control or predict. Imagine any lingering tension in your body, any subtle clenching, as simply the residue of clinging to desired outcomes. With each slow, gentle exhale, imagine these tensions softening, releasing, dissolving into the vastness of your awareness. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural, effortless rhythm. Each inhale is an invitation to expand, to open to the present moment. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the boundless nature of your being and to the flow of life itself. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the comfort beneath you. Your feet are completely relaxed, heavy and warm, your toes soft and still. Your ankles are loose. Your calves and thighs are completely at ease, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, sinking deeper into the mattress, your lower back fully supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet, expanding gently with each breath. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this vast, open spaciousness within you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water, gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to control and outcomes have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner lightness, freedom, and trust. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, resting in the boundless embrace of your true, flowing nature. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of letting go towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in trusting the river's flow, you find true and lasting peace. Part 8. Cultivating the Garden of Inner Peace. Tonight, as you settle into your space, perhaps you notice a subtle yearning within, a longing for a deeper, more consistent sense of peace. In our busy lives, we often seek external solutions to our anxieties, hoping that a change in circumstances, a new achievement, or a different environment will finally bring us lasting calm. But true, enduring peace is not something found outside ourselves. It is a garden that must be cultivated within. We tend to neglect this inner landscape, allowing weeds of worry, seeds of distraction, and thorns of agitation to take root and flourish. This neglect leaves us feeling restless, scattered, and perpetually searching, always feeling that peace is just beyond our grasp. This continuous search outside ourselves creates a subtle tension, a feeling of being incomplete or perpetually unfulfilled. We chase after fleeting moments of calm, only to find them quickly overshadowed by the next wave of concerns. The mind, accustomed to external stimulation and problem-solving, struggles to find its own inherent stillness. You might feel this now as a subtle agitation, a difficulty in truly settling, a sense that your mind is still trying to do something, even in this moment of rest. This is the burden of an untended inner garden, a mind that has not yet learned the simple, consistent practices that nurture lasting tranquility. But what if cultivating inner peace was as simple and profound as tending a garden, requiring only gentle attention, consistent care, and a deep understanding of its natural rhythms? What if the most powerful antidote to anxiety was the steady, mindful nurturing of your own inner landscape? Tonight, we will explore this liberating wisdom. We will delve into how simple, consistent practices of mindfulness and gentle awareness can transform your inner world into a sanctuary of calm, preparing the mind and body for profound rest. Let us invite the understanding that by tending this inner garden, we create a lasting wellspring of peace, guiding us towards deep, restorative sleep. In a tranquil valley, known for its vibrant flora and the wisdom of its inhabitants, lived a young woman named Hannah. Hannah was a gifted gardener, her hands capable of coaxing the most beautiful blossoms from the earth. Her external garden was a marvel of order and beauty, a symphony of colors and scents. Yet, despite the outward beauty she created, Hannah herself was often troubled. Her mind was a whirlwind of anxieties, worries about her crops, fears of pests, concerns about the changing seasons, and a constant internal chatter about her own perceived shortcomings. She yearned for the same peace she brought to her garden to manifest within herself. She tried grand gestures, intense meditation retreats, long pilgrimages, and rigorous self-discipline. But these efforts, while noble, often felt like trying to force a desert to bloom overnight. Her anxiety would return, subtle yet persistent, leaving her feeling frustrated and exhausted. Her body was often tense, her breath shallow, and her sleep was frequently disturbed by dreams of withered plants and overgrown weeds, leaving her feeling unrefreshed. She longed for a deep, consistent calm that seemed to elude her, always just out of reach. One day, an old Zen master, known for his simple teachings and his profound connection to the earth, visited Hannah's village. He admired her beautiful garden, walking slowly among the blossoms, his eyes observing every detail. He saw the outward perfection, but he also sensed the inner turmoil in Hannah's eyes. "Young Hannah," the master said, his voice as gentle as the rustle of leaves, "your garden is a testament to your skill and devotion. But tell me, how do you cultivate such beauty?" Hannah, pleased by his praise, explained her methods. "Venerable Master, it requires consistent care. I prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water them daily, weed regularly, protect them from pests, and prune them with care. It is a continuous, patient effort, attuned to the rhythms of nature." The master nodded slowly, a knowing smile on his face. "Indeed. And do you try to force a seed to sprout overnight? Do you yell at the weeds to disappear instantly? Do you demand a blossom to open before its time?" Hannah chuckled softly. "No, Master, that would be foolish. I provide the conditions, and then I trust in the natural process, with patience and gentle attention." "Exactly," the master affirmed. "And so it is with the garden of your inner peace, young Hannah. You seek grand, instantaneous transformations, but true peace, like true beauty, is cultivated through consistent, gentle, and patient tending. Your mind, too, needs daily watering, regular weeding, and gentle pruning." He continued, "The seeds of peace are already within you, your breath, your awareness, your inherent capacity for stillness. But they need to be nurtured. The weeds of worry and distraction will naturally arise, just as weeds appear in any garden. You cannot stop them from appearing, but you can gently remove them, again and again, without judgment or harshness." The master then knelt and pointed to a small, persistent weed growing near a delicate flower. "When you see this weed, do you curse it? Do you rage against it?" "No, Master," Hannah replied. "Simply remove it, carefully, so as not to disturb the flower. And so it is with a distracting thought, a rising anxiety," the master explained. "When it appears, do not curse it, do not rage against it. Simply observe it, acknowledge its presence, and then, gently, return your attention to the seeds of peace you are cultivating, your breath, the sensations in your body, the quiet of the present moment. This is your daily watering, your consistent weeding," he continued. "And just as you prune your plants to encourage healthy growth, you can gently prune your mind by choosing what you feed it. Do you feed it constant worries, endless distractions, and negative self-talk? Or do you feed it moments of quiet contemplation, gentle awareness, and compassionate understanding?" Hannah spent the following weeks integrating the master's teaching into her life. She still tended her external garden, but now she also consciously tended her inner one. She began to incorporate simple, consistent practices into her daily routine. Each morning, before beginning her work, she would sit quietly for a few minutes, focusing on her breath, feeling the gentle rise and fall of her body, planting the seeds of stillness. Throughout the day, when she felt a wave of worry or distraction arise, she would pause. She would acknowledge the weed, and then, with a soft breath, gently return her attention to the sensations of her hands in the soil, the warmth of the sun on her skin, the sound of birdsong. She wasn't trying to force her mind to be quiet, but simply to gently redirect its attention again and again, like a gardener patiently removing weeds. She found that these small, consistent acts of mindfulness had a profound cumulative effect. Her inner landscape, once chaotic and overgrown with anxiety, began to transform. The seeds of peace she had been cultivating, her breath, her awareness, her presence, began to sprout and flourish. The constant internal chatter quieted, replaced by a spacious calm. The anxieties that had once plagued her no longer held the same power. They were like transient clouds in a vast, clear sky. She realized that true peace was not a destination, but a continuous process of gentle tending. It was not about achieving a perfect state, but about consistently returning to the present moment, nurturing the seeds of stillness, and gently removing the weeds of distraction. This understanding brought a deep, abiding sense of contentment and resilience. Her body, once tense and restless, began to relax into a state of quiet ease. Her breath deepened, becoming a steady, calming rhythm that mirrored the natural cycles of her garden. And her sleep, once disturbed by anxious thoughts, transformed into a profound, restorative embrace. She would lie down at night, her mind at peace, feeling as though she was resting in the heart of her own beautifully cultivated inner garden, allowing its tranquility to lull her into deep, peaceful slumber. Had found her peace not in grand gestures, but in the simple, consistent wisdom of tending her inner world. And now, as you lie here, allow Hannah's journey to resonate within your own being. Notice your inner landscape. Are there areas that feel overgrown with worry? Are there places that feel neglected? There is no need to judge, only to observe with kindness. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, gently invite the practice of cultivating your own garden of inner peace. Imagine your breath as the gentle water that nourishes the seeds of stillness within you. With each slow, soft inhale, imagine fresh, clean water flowing into your inner garden, revitalizing and calming. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine any weeds of worry, any lingering distractions, gently loosening their grip and being released. Bring your attention to your body, feeling its weight and warmth. Let your feet feel utterly heavy and relaxed, your toes soft and still. Your ankles are loose, your calves and thighs are completely at ease, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, sinking deeper into the mattress, your lower back fully supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet, expanding gently with each breath. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Each inhale brings a fresh wave of peace and calm. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the profound comfort of this moment. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward, towards the tranquil beauty of your own inner garden. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling. Like disturbed water, gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of neglect and constant searching have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner calm, cultivated through gentle, consistent awareness. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, resting in the boundless embrace of your own beautifully tended inner garden. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of cultivating inner peace towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in tending your inner garden, you find true and lasting peace. Hannah's inner garden became her sanctuary, a place she could retreat to at any moment, regardless of external circumstances. She discovered that the consistency of her practice was far more potent than any intense but sporadic effort. Just as a garden thrives with daily, gentle care, her inner peace deepened with each mindful breath, each moment of gentle awareness. She no longer sought to eradicate all thoughts or eliminate all challenges. Instead, she learned to meet them with the same calm presence she brought to her weeding. A challenging thought was simply a weed to be acknowledged and gently released, without judgment, allowing the flowers of peace to continue to bloom. This sustained practice transformed her relationship with anxiety. Instead of being overwhelmed by it, she learned to observe its arising with a detached curiosity. She saw that anxiety was often just a pattern of thought, a habit of the mind, and like any habit, it could be gently retrained. By consistently returning to her breath, to the sensations in her body, to the quiet of the present moment, she gradually weakened anxiety's hold. It became less like a raging storm and more like a passing cloud, observed from the spacious tranquility of her inner garden. Her interactions with the world also changed. She found that she could navigate difficult conversations or unexpected setbacks with a newfound equanimity. Her responses became more thoughtful and less reactive, stemming from a place of inner calm rather than impulsive anxiety. She radiated a quiet strength, a gentle resilience that inspired those around her. Her village, once a place where she often felt overwhelmed by the demands of life, now felt like an extension of her own peaceful inner landscape. She saw the beauty and interconnectedness in everything, from the smallest insect to the grandest mountain peak. Hannah realized that the garden of inner peace was not a static destination, but a living, breathing process. It required ongoing attention, a continuous commitment to nurturing the seeds of awareness and compassion. But the rewards were immeasurable. A deep, abiding sense of contentment, a profound freedom from the grip of anxiety, and an unshakable inner calm that permeated every aspect of her being. She had truly cultivated a sanctuary within, a source of peace that was always available, always flourishing. And when she lay down to sleep each night, her final thoughts were not of the day's tasks or tomorrow's worries, but of gratitude for the profound peace she had cultivated. She would visualize her inner garden, vibrant and serene, filled with the fragrant blossoms of stillness and the gentle rustle of calm. This imagery would lull her into a deep, restorative sleep, a sleep so peaceful that she would awaken each morning feeling refreshed, renewed, and ready to meet the day with an open heart and a tranquil mind. She had truly learned that the path to freedom from anxiety and to profound inner peace was found in the consistent, loving cultivation of her own inner world. Now, as you continue to rest, allow yourself to fully absorb this profound wisdom of cultivating inner peace. Feel the gentle, nourishing energy of your breath continuing to flow through you, tending to your inner garden. Imagine any remaining subtle tensions or clenchings in your body as simply old, stubborn weeds. With each slow, gentle exhale, imagine these weeds loosening their grip, becoming easier to release, dissolving into the earth. Bring your attention to your body, feeling its weight and warmth. Let your feet feel utterly heavy and relaxed, your toes soft and still. Your ankles are loose, your calves and thighs are completely at ease, releasing all effort. Your hips are settled, sinking deeper into the mattress, your lower back fully supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet, expanding gently with each breath. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away from your ears, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into relaxation. Each inhale brings a fresh wave of peace and calm, like gentle sunlight warming your garden. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the profound comfort of this moment, like the soft falling of dew. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards the tranquil beauty of your own inner garden. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of neglect and constant searching have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner calm, cultivated through gentle, consistent awareness. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, resting in the boundless embrace of your own beautifully tended inner garden. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of cultivating inner peace, towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself dissolving into this quietude, merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in tending your inner garden, you find true and lasting peace. Part 9. Dissolving into stillness, the deepening embrace. Tonight, as you lie here, perhaps you feel a profound sense of quiet beginning to settle within you. The journey we have taken through these teachings has been one of gentle release, of softening the edges of the anxious mind. Yet, even as we cultivate peace, there can sometimes be a subtle, lingering resistance to fully letting go, a last whisper of the mind trying to hold on to awareness, to maintain a sense of control over the very act of falling asleep. We might fear losing ourselves in the vastness of unconsciousness, or worry that sleep will not be deep enough, restorative enough. This subtle clinging to wakefulness, this last vestige of mental activity, can prevent us from truly dissolving into the profound stillness that invites deep, peaceful sleep. This final resistance can manifest as a persistent thought, a subtle tension in the body, or a feeling of being on the threshold, yet unable to fully cross over. It is the mind's final attempt to assert itself, to maintain its identity even as the body yearns for complete surrender. You might feel it now as a slight alertness, a quiet hum behind your eyes, or a sense that you are still watching yourself fall asleep. This is the burden of holding on to the edges of consciousness, preventing the complete merging with the deep, restorative embrace of stillness. But what if the deepest peace, the most profound rest, lay in a complete and utter surrender, in dissolving fully into the boundless stillness that awaits you? What if the act of falling asleep was not a loss of consciousness, but a merging with a vaster, more profound awareness, a return to the source of all peace? Tonight, as we near the threshold of sleep, we will deepen this experience of stillness, guiding you into a profound state of inner quiet. Through hypnotic imagery and a gentle narrative, we will encourage the mind to fully let go, to merge with the present moment, inviting a deep, peaceful surrender that allows your consciousness to gently recede into the restorative depths of sleep. In a secluded mountain temple, perched high above a valley often shrouded in mist, lived a wise old Zen master named Hakuin. Hakuin was revered not only for his profound teachings, but also for the deep, unwavering stillness that emanated from his very being. He seemed to exist in a perpetual state of calm, his movements deliberate, his gaze serene, his presence a soothing balm to all who encountered him. Among his many disciples was a young monk named Sora. Sora had diligently practiced all the teachings: mindfulness of breath, the wisdom of impermanence, the path of non-resistance, and the cultivation of compassion. He had found a great deal of peace, and his anxiety had significantly lessened. Yet, when it came time for sleep, Sora often struggled. He would lie down, his body tired, his mind relatively calm, but there remained a subtle alertness, a feeling of being on guard, unable to fully release his consciousness into the depths of slumber. He would find himself observing his own process of falling asleep, almost trying to make it happen, and this very effort kept him awake. He confessed his struggle to Master Hakuin. "Venerable Master," Sora began, "I have learned so much, and I feel a great deal of peace during the day, but when night comes, I find myself clinging to the edges of wakefulness. I cannot seem to fully surrender to sleep. It feels as though a part of me is afraid to let go, afraid to dissolve into the unknown of unconsciousness." Hakuin listened, his eyes holding a deep, compassionate understanding. He then invited Sora to walk with him to a small, hidden cave behind the temple, where a natural spring flowed into a perfectly still, dark pool. The air in the cave was cool and silent, broken only by the gentle drip of water. "Sora," Hakuin said, his voice a soft whisper that seemed to merge with the quiet of the cave. "Look at this pool. Its surface is like your mind when you try to fall asleep. You are trying to keep it perfectly still, perfectly clear, to observe it. But the very act of observing, of trying to control, creates a subtle ripple, does it not?" Sora looked at the pool. Indeed, if he focused too intently, if he tried to see the stillness, his own effort seemed to disturb it. "Now," Hakuin continued, "imagine yourself not as the observer of the pool, but as the water itself. Imagine dissolving into its depth, becoming one with its stillness, its darkness, its profound quiet. Do you need to do anything to make the water still? Or does it simply become still when all external disturbances cease?" Sora pondered this. "It simply becomes still, Master. The water is stillness itself when undisturbed." "Exactly," Hakuin affirmed. "And so it is with your consciousness when you approach sleep. You are not losing yourself. You are returning to your deeper nature, which is stillness itself. The you that tries to observe, to control, to hold on to wakefulness is like the ripple on the surface. To truly sleep, you must dissolve that ripple, merge with the vast, still depth beneath. He then guided Sora. Imagine your awareness, your consciousness, as a single drop of water, and imagine this still pool as the boundless ocean of stillness that awaits you in deep sleep. Do not try to force the drop to merge, simply release your hold on it. Allow it to fall effortlessly into the pool. Feel it dissolving, becoming one with the vastness, losing its individual form, yet becoming part of something infinitely greater and more peaceful. Hakuin continued, let your thoughts, your worries, your very sense of I that is trying to stay awake be like tiny motes of dust floating on the surface of the pool. Do not fight them, do not chase them, simply allow them to settle, to slowly, gently sink into the depths, dissolving into the profound stillness. You are not losing consciousness, you are expanding it, merging it with the boundless, restorative silence of the universe. Sora sat in the cave listening to Hakuin's words, feeling their truth resonate deep within him. He began to apply this teaching. He imagined his awareness as a single drop, gently releasing itself, falling into the vast, dark, still pool. He felt his mind, which had been subtly clinging, begin to soften, to let go. The fear of losing himself dissipated, replaced by a profound sense of peace and a gentle invitation to surrender. That night, when Sora lay down to sleep, he remembered Hakuin's guidance. Instead of trying to make himself sleep, he simply allowed himself to dissolve. He imagined his thoughts as tiny motes of dust, gently settling. He imagined his sense of individual awareness as a drop of water, effortlessly merging with a vast, still ocean. He felt his body, heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress, as if becoming one with the earth itself. The subtle alertness, the lingering tension, gently melted away. His breath deepened, becoming so soft and quiet that it felt as if it too was dissolving into the stillness. He was no longer observing himself falling asleep. He was simply becoming sleep, merging with the profound quietude that enveloped him. His consciousness gently receded, not into oblivion, but into a boundless, restorative peace, a deep, dreamless slumber that renewed his entire being. He had finally learned the art of complete surrender, dissolving into stillness. And now, as you lie here, allow Sora's journey to resonate within your own being. Feel the profound invitation to fully let go, to dissolve into the boundless stillness that awaits you. Notice any lingering resistance, any subtle clinging to wakefulness, any last whisper of the mind trying to hold on. There is no need to fight it, only to observe it with kindness, and then gently release it. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, imagine your awareness, your consciousness, as a single, shimmering drop of water. And imagine the space around you, the quiet of the night, the very essence of sleep, as a vast, infinitely deep and perfectly still pool. Do not try to force the drop to merge, simply allow it. Feel yourself gently releasing your hold on that individual drop of awareness. Imagine it falling, effortlessly, slowly, gracefully, into the vast, still pool. Feel it dissolving, becoming one with the boundless stillness, losing its individual form, yet becoming part of something infinitely greater, infinitely more peaceful, infinitely more restful. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine any remaining thoughts, any lingering worries, any subtle tensions gently settling, sinking, dissolving into this profound stillness. Let them go, effortlessly, without judgment. They are simply ripples on the surface, and you are merging with the deep, unwavering calm beneath. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the surface beneath you, becoming utterly heavy, utterly relaxed, utterly still. Your feet are completely at ease, Your legs are soft and heavy. Your hips are settled, your lower back supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully. Your neck is long and supple, your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into this dissolution. Each inhale brings a fresh wave of peace. Each exhale is a release, a surrender to the profound comfort of this moment, emerging with the boundless stillness. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this vast, still ocean of peace within and around you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, dissolving, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to wakefulness have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner quiet, boundless freedom, and complete surrender. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, dissolving into the boundless embrace of stillness. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of dissolving into stillness, towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in dissolving into stillness, you find true and lasting peace. Sora's newfound ability to dissolve into stillness transformed his entire experience of life, not just his sleep. He realized that the profound peace he found in slumber was not an escape from reality, but a deeper connection to it. The stillness he accessed at night began to permeate his waking hours, bringing a quiet grace to his movements and a serene clarity to his mind. He no longer felt the need to constantly do or achieve. Instead, he found contentment in simply being. He discovered that the unknown of unconsciousness he had once feared was, in fact, a boundless wellspring of renewal. Each morning, he awoke feeling not just physically rested, but spiritually refreshed, as if his very essence had been bathed in pure, unconditioned peace. The anxieties that had once plagued him, the subtle clinging to control, the fear of losing himself, all had dissolved into the vastness he now embraced. He understood that true security lay not in holding on tightly, but in the profound freedom of letting go completely. His interactions with others also changed. He became a calming presence, his serene demeanor a reflection of the deep stillness he carried within. People sought his company, finding solace in his quiet wisdom, which flowed not from intellectual knowledge, but from an embodied understanding of surrender. He taught his fellow monks, not with words alone, but by his very example, how to approach sleep not as a battle to be won, but as a gentle merging with the universal quiet. The temple, high in the mountains, seemed to echo his inner peace. The wind whispered through the pines with a softer sound, the mist settled more gently in the valley, and the ancient stones of the temple felt imbued with a deeper tranquility. Sora had become a living embodiment of Hakuin's teaching, a testament to the liberating power of dissolving into stillness. He understood that the journey towards peace was ultimately a journey inward, a continuous process of shedding layers of resistance until one returned to the boundless, unconditioned nature of pure awareness. And when he lay down to sleep each night, Sora no longer thought of it as falling asleep, but as dissolving into stillness. He would consciously release his grip on his thoughts, his body, his very sense of individual self, allowing them to gently melt into the vast, quiet ocean of rest. His final act of the day was always one of profound surrender, a complete and joyful merging with the boundless peace that awaited him, knowing that in this dissolution he was truly free. Now, as you continue to rest, allow yourself to fully embrace this profound and final invitation to dissolve. Feel the last vestiges of any tension, any subtle holding, gently releasing from your body. Imagine your mind, like the surface of that still pool, becoming utterly calm, utterly clear. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural, effortless rhythm. It is becoming softer, shallower, almost imperceptible. Each inhale, gentle wave of peace washing over you. Each exhale is a profound release, a complete surrender, carrying you deeper and deeper into the quiet depths. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the surface beneath you, becoming utterly heavy, utterly relaxed, utterly still. Your feet are completely at ease, your legs are soft and heavy, your hips are settled, your lower back supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully. Your neck is long and supple, your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward, towards this vast, still ocean of peace within and around you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, dissolving, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to wakefulness have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner quiet, boundless freedom, and complete surrender. Imagine your consciousness now, not as a separate entity, but as a part of this vast, encompassing stillness. Feel yourself merging, blending, becoming one with the quiet, dark expanse of the night. There is no boundary, no separation. You are simply dissolving, effortlessly, into the profound peace that is your true nature. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go, nothing left to hold on to. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, dissolving into the boundless embrace of stillness. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of dissolving into stillness towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in dissolving into stillness, you find true and lasting peace. Part 10. The Sacred Silence. Drifting into peaceful sleep. Tonight, as you lie here, you have journeyed through the profound wisdom of letting go, of embracing impermanence, of anchoring in the breath, of non-resistance, of compassion, of unveiling the empty self, and of dissolving into stillness. Now, as we reach the culmination of this journey, you stand at the very threshold of deep, restorative sleep. The anxieties that once stirred the mind have gently receded, the efforts to control have softened, and the need to hold on to wakefulness has dissolved. What remains is a profound sense of quiet, a sacred silence that invites you to surrender fully, to merge completely with the peace of the night. Yet, even in this deep calm, there can sometimes be a final, subtle whisper of the mind, a tiny thread of lingering awareness that hesitates to fully cross into the unknown of unconsciousness. It is the last echo of the day's activity, the final resistance to complete surrender. This subtle holding can feel like a light touch, a faint hum, preventing the ultimate release into the boundless depths of sleep. You might feel it now as a slight awareness of your own breathing, a gentle observation of the quiet around you, or a sense that you are still here, on the very edge of sleep, but not quite in it. This is the final step, the ultimate letting go into the sacred silence. But what if this sacred silence was not an absence, but a profound presence? What if drifting into peaceful sleep was not a void, but a return to the deepest source of your being, a merging with the universal stillness that permeates all existence? Tonight, we offer a gentle transition into this deep, restorative sleep. Through soothing words and hypnotic imagery, we will encourage you to embrace the sacred silence, surrendering fully to the peace of the night, allowing your body and mind to drift into profound rest, knowing there is nothing left to do but sleep. Let us invite the understanding that in this final surrender, you find not just rest, but a profound renewal of your entire being. In a remote, ancient temple, nestled in a valley so deep and quiet that it was known as the Valley of Sacred Silence, lived a revered Zen master named Kageyama. Kageyama was a master of stillness, his presence so profoundly calm that even the birds would sing more softly near him. He taught his disciples that true enlightenment was not found in grand revelations, but in the complete and utter embrace of silence, both outer and inner. Among his disciples was a young monk named Daisuke. Daisuke had diligently followed all the teachings, and his mind had become remarkably calm. He could sit in meditation for hours, his thoughts like distant clouds. Yet, when night came, Daisuke still found himself struggling with the final step into sleep. He would lie awake, his mind quiet, his body relaxed. But there remained a subtle thread of awareness, a feeling of being on the precipice, unable to fully cross over into the deep, unconscious realm of sleep. He felt as though he was waiting for something, an ultimate signal to let go, but it never came. He confessed his struggle to Master Kageyama. "Venerable Master," Daisuke began, "my mind is calm, my body is at peace, but I cannot seem to fully enter the sacred silence of sleep. I feel as though I am holding on to a tiny thread of awareness, unable to completely surrender. What is this final barrier?" Kageyama listened, his eyes holding the depth of the night sky. He then invited Daisuke to sit with him in the temple's main hall, a vast, empty space where the silence was so profound it seemed to hum. The moon cast long, soft shadows through the windows, and the air was perfectly still. "Daisuke," Kageyama said, his voice barely a whisper, "the sacred silence you seek is not something to be entered, for you are already a part of it. The tiny thread of awareness you cling to is not a barrier, but simply the last ripple on the surface of a vast, still ocean. You are waiting for a signal to let go, but the signal is simply the absence of all signals." He continued, "Imagine yourself as a single, faint echo in this vast, silent hall. Do you need to do anything to make the echo disappear? Or does it simply fade, naturally, when no new sound is made? When no new thought is generated? The echo does not fight its fading, it simply dissolves back into the silence from which it arose. Daisuke closed his eyes, listening to the profound silence of the hall and imagining himself as a faint echo, gently fading. And so it is with your consciousness as you approach sleep, Kageyama explained. The you that is waiting, that is observing, is like that last echo. To truly enter the sacred silence of sleep, you must allow that echo to fade, to dissolve completely back into the boundless stillness. You are not losing yourself, you are returning to your origin, to the vast, unconditioned awareness that is the very essence of silence. He then guided Daisuke. Imagine your body as a vessel, gently emptying itself of all contents. Let all thoughts, all sensations, all lingering awareness of self simply drain away, like water slowly receding from a bowl. Feel yourself becoming lighter, more spacious, until there is nothing left but pure, unconditioned awareness, merging with the sacred silence around you. Kageyama continued, "This is not an act of effort, but an act of profound release. Do not chase the silence, allow the silence to embrace you. Do not try to make yourself sleep, allow sleep to take you, gently, completely, into its boundless depths. Trust the process. Trust the silence. It is your true home." Daisuke sat in the silent hall, absorbing Kageyama's words. He imagined his body as an empty vessel, his thoughts and sensations gently draining away. He felt his individual awareness, that last faint echo, softly fading, dissolving into the profound quiet that enveloped him. The fear of the unknown, the subtle clinging, finally released its grip. He felt himself becoming lighter, more spacious, merging with the vast, sacred silence. That night, when Daisuke lay down, he remembered Kageyama's guidance. Instead of waiting, instead of trying, he simply allowed. He imagined his body as a vessel, gently emptying. He let his thoughts fade like echoes in a vast hall. He released his hold on that last thread of awareness, allowing it to dissolve into the boundless stillness. He felt his body, heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress, as if becoming one with the earth itself, merging with the profound quiet of the night. His breath became so soft, so shallow, so quiet, that it felt as if it too was dissolving into the sacred silence. He was no longer observing himself falling asleep, he was simply becoming sleep, merging with the profound quietude that enveloped him. His consciousness gently receded, not into oblivion, but into a boundless, restorative peace, a deep, dreamless slumber that renewed his entire being. He had finally learned the art of complete surrender, drifting into the sacred silence of peaceful sleep. And now, as you lie here, allow Daisuke's journey to resonate within your own being. Feel the profound invitation to fully let go, to dissolve into the boundless, sacred silence that awaits you. Notice any lingering resistance, any subtle clinging to wakefulness, any last whisper of the mind trying to hold on. There is no need to fight it, only to observe it with kindness, and then gently release it. Then, with a soft, conscious intention, imagine your awareness, your consciousness, as that last, faint echo in a vast, silent hall. Do not try to hold on to it. Do not try to make it disappear. Simply allow it to fade, naturally, effortlessly, dissolving back into the profound silence from which it arose. Feel yourself gently releasing your hold on any remaining individual awareness. Imagine it falling, effortlessly, slowly, gracefully, into the vast, sacred silence. Feel it dissolving, becoming one with the boundless stillness, losing its individual form, yet becoming part of something infinitely greater, infinitely more peaceful, infinitely more restful. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine any remaining thoughts, any lingering worries, any subtle tensions, gently settling, sinking, dissolving into this profound, sacred silence. Let them go, effortlessly, without judgment. They are simply the last ripples on the surface, and you are merging with the deep, unwavering calm beneath. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the surface beneath you, becoming utterly heavy, utterly relaxed, utterly still. Your feet are completely at ease, your legs are soft and heavy, your hips are settled, your lower back supported, your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully. Your neck is long and supple. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your turn. You're being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your breath to be soft, deep, and continuous, a gentle wave carrying you further into this sacred silence. Each inhale brings a fresh wave of peace. Each exhale is a profound release, a complete surrender, carrying you deeper and deeper into the quiet depths. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. Let your eyelids feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this vast, sacred silence within and around you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, dissolving, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to wakefulness have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner quiet, boundless freedom, and complete surrender. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, drifting into the boundless embrace of sacred silence. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of the sacred silence, towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in the sacred silence you find true and lasting peace. Daisuke's complete surrender to the sacred silence became the cornerstone of his being. He realized that the profound rest he found in sleep was not merely a temporary cessation of activity, but a deep immersion into the fundamental nature of existence itself. This understanding brought a continuous sense of peace to his waking life, a quiet confidence that permeated every action and every interaction. He no longer felt the need to strive or to achieve. Instead, he moved through the world with a gentle flow, trusting in the inherent wisdom of life's unfolding. He discovered that the unknown of unconsciousness was, in truth, the source of all knowing, a boundless field of pure potential. Each morning, he awoke feeling not just physically rejuvenated, but spiritually renewed, as if his very essence had been cleansed and retuned by the profound silence of the night. The anxieties that had once clung to him, the subtle resistance to letting go, the fear of losing control, all had dissolved into the vast, open spaciousness he now embraced. He understood that true freedom lay not in conscious effort, but in the ultimate release, the complete merging with the universal quiet. His interactions with the world became infused with this deep tranquility. He became a beacon of calm, his serene presence a soothing balm to those around him. People sought his counsel, finding not just words of wisdom, but a palpable sense of peace that radiated from him. He taught his fellow monks not through complex doctrines, but through the simple, profound example of his own surrender. He showed them how to approach sleep not as a task, but as a sacred ritual of returning to the source, a gentle dissolution into the boundless, restorative silence. The temple, high in the valley of sacred silence, seemed to breathe with him, its ancient stones resonating with his inner peace. The wind whispered through the pines with a deeper resonance. The mist settled more gently in the valley, and the very air felt charged with a profound, unmoving stillness. Daisuke had become a living embodiment of Master Kageyama's teaching, a testament to the liberating power of complete surrender into the sacred silence. He understood that the journey towards peace was ultimately a journey inward, a continuous process of shedding all resistance until one returned to the boundless, unconditioned nature of pure awareness. And when he lay down to sleep each night, Daisuke no longer thought of it as falling asleep, but as merging with the sacred silence. He would consciously release his grip on his thoughts, his body, his very sense of individual self, allowing them to gently melt and dissolve into the vast, quiet ocean of rest. His final act of the day was always one of profound surrender, a complete and joyful merging with the boundless peace that awaited him, knowing that in this dissolution he was truly free, truly at home. He would drift into slumber, feeling utterly weightless, utterly at peace, knowing there was nothing to grasp, nothing to defend, nothing to be but pure, unconditioned awareness, gently carried into the heart of the sacred silence. Now, as you continue to rest, allow yourself to fully embrace this ultimate invitation to peace. Feel the last, faintest whispers of any tension, any subtle holding, gently releasing from your body, like the last breath of a fading echo. Imagine your mind, like the surface of that still pool, becoming utterly calm, utterly clear, reflecting only the profound quiet that surrounds you. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural, effortless rhythm. It is becoming softer, shallower, almost imperceptible. Each inhale is a gentle wave of peace washing over you, cleansing and purifying. Each exhale is a profound release, a complete surrender, carrying you deeper and deeper into the quiet depths of the sacred silence. Feel your body sinking even deeper into the surface beneath you, becoming utterly heavy, utterly relaxed, utterly still. Your feet are completely at ease, your legs are soft and heavy, your hips are settled, your lower back supported. Your abdomen is soft and pliable, your chest open and quiet. Your shoulders are completely dropped, melting away, and your arms and hands feel heavy and warm, resting peacefully by your sides, palms perhaps gently turned upwards in a gesture of openness and receptivity. Your neck is long and supple, releasing any strain. Your jaw is completely unclenched, the muscles around your mouth and eyes soft and smooth. Your forehead is calm and clear, your scalp relaxed, as if a gentle wave of peace is washing over you from the top of your head, flowing all the way down to your toes, leaving every part of your being in a state of deep, profound relaxation. Allow your eyelids to feel utterly heavy, your gaze turning inward towards this vast, sacred silence within and around you. The sounds around you, if there are any, are simply part of the background, no longer demanding your attention. Your mind is quieting, settling, dissolving, like disturbed water gradually becoming still and clear. All the anxieties born of clinging to wakefulness have gently dissolved, replaced by a profound sense of inner quiet, boundless freedom, and complete surrender. Imagine your consciousness now, not as a separate entity, but as a part of this vast, encompassing stillness. Feel yourself merging, blending, becoming one with the quiet, dark expanse of the night. There is no boundary, no separation. You are simply dissolving, effortlessly, into the profound peace that is your true nature. You are completely safe, completely supported, completely at ease. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go, nothing left to hold on to. You are simply here, now, in this moment of profound peace, drifting into the boundless embrace of sacred silence. Surrender to this feeling. Allow your mind to quiet and your body to become utterly still. You are drifting on a calm, quiet current, carried by the gentle wisdom of the sacred silence towards a vast, tranquil ocean of rest. Feel yourself merging with the stillness, allowing your consciousness to gently recede, preparing for the deep, restorative embrace of peaceful sleep. There is only this moment, this breath, this profound and unwavering calm. Let yourself drift, let yourself be, as you surrender fully to the quiet of the night, knowing that in the sacred silence you find true and lasting peace. Let the final threads of your awareness gently unravel, dissolving into the soft, dark fabric of the night. There is no need to hold on, no need to observe, no need to think. Simply allow yourself to be carried, effortlessly, into the deepest realms of rest. Feel your mind becoming as vast and empty as the night sky, your body as soft and yielding as the earth beneath you. Every cell in your being is now sinking into a profound state of comfort and renewal. The journey is complete, the teachings have been absorbed, the path to peace has been walked, and now all that remains is the sweet, gentle invitation of sleep. Let go of everything. Let go of the day, of your thoughts, of your very name. You are simply pure awareness, dissolving into pure peace. Drift now, deeper and deeper, into the sacred silence. Allow yourself to be completely embraced by the quiet, restorative darkness. There is nothing left to do. Simply sleep.